It's on me. Happy Mother's Day from Montreal. Today the Cubs wrap up a 3-game weekend series, and we try to win a series north of the border for the first time in nearly 4 years as the Cubs and Expos do battle on a Mother's Day Sunday here on WGN Sports. Hello again, everybody, along with Dan Roan, Chip Carey. A very happy Mother's Day to all of you watching the game around the country and around the world. And Dan, what a present John Lieber gave all the moms yesterday. A 2-1 complete game victory here in Montreal.
A terrific game by John Lieber yesterday, and you hope for a carryover effect today with Ishmael Valdez on the mound for the 3rd time for the Cubs, coming off a game in which he had to leave with a right hamstring strain, Chip, and I don't know how much that will affect him. I don't think we can expect him to go the distance as Lieber did yesterday, but still Don Baylor looks for a long performance from him in this game.
He feels good. He will take the ball today, as will Hideki Arabu, a guy the Expos paid dearly for. They needed a veteran right-hand starter. They gave up 3 players to get Arabu, and so far, Dan, the result's not what Montreal was hoping for.
No, not really. He's not been very successful so far here north of the border. Last Tuesday against Philadelphia, better than he had been, but you look at the record and you look at the ERA in particular, that's over 7 starts, so he's been consistently ineffective, Chip, so far this year for the Expos.
Last time the Cubs won a series here in Montreal was August of 1996. Let's make it a happy Mother's Day. Let's head home with a win. We'll have starting lineup some more from the Big O Olympic Stadium in Montreal right after this.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN. Brought to you by Brewery Fresh Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. This Bud's for you. Dodge. Do not follow. Do not conform. Be different. The Illinois Lottery, where players have more fun. By Pepsi, the joy of cola. And by Southwest Airlines. Log on for Southwest Airlines low fares at www.southwest.com, a symbol of e-freedom.
They'll ship anything, anytime, anywhere. And they'll get it there, no matter what.
I don't want to crash twice in one day. Don't worry. I crash better than anyone I know.
Mel Gibson, Robert Downey Jr., Air America. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on WGN.
A typical car insurance agent is on the job during regular business hours. On the other hand, Geico insurance professionals are on the job 24 hours a day. Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Still paying too much for car insurance? Geico, a 15-minute call could save you 15% or more.
Local breweries. Beer shipped the same day it was born. Refrigerated distribution centers. Daily deliveries. Our exclusive Born on Dating. That's how we guarantee Budweiser is the freshest beer choice out there.
Introducing the new 72-month ProStart Plus battery from Pep Boys. Every size, every battery, one great price, $39.99. The new ProStart Plus battery comes in 16 sizes to fit almost all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs on the road today. And at just $39.99, it's sized to fit your budget, too. Throw in our 18-month free replacement, and you'll have every reason to buy a $39.99 ProStart Plus battery from Pep Boys.
Cars like us. People love us.
Back at Olympic Stadium in Montreal, nice-sized crowd is gathering on this Mother's Day Sunday north of the border. And the Cubs try to win 2 out of 3 from the Expos after a spectacular performance from John Lieber last night. A complete game, 2-1 victory, his 4th of the year. And as Dan Roan mentioned a few moments ago, it sure would be nice to see a carryover effect from the rest of the staff, starting with Ishmael Valdez today against these Montreal Expos. Here's the way the Cubs will line up for the ball game today. The lineup for Don Baylor presented by Pepsi. Eric Young, Ricky Gutierrez, and Sammy Sosa, the top 3 in the order. Henry Rodriguez in cleanup in left. Then it's Willie Green, Shane Andrews, Joe Girardi, Damon Buford in center. Ishmael Valdez pitches and bats 9th. No Dave Martinez. His flight was canceled, flying from Cincinnati to Montreal last night. He will join us in Chicago Tuesday.
Quickly, Montreal defense: White, Bergeron, Guerrero, Tracy Cabrera, Vidro, and Stevens in the infield. Woodger behind the plate. Irabu pitching. Same group that started the game last night. against John Lieber.
So Hideki Arabu, the former Yankee. First pitch, a rifle shot toward left center field. It'll drop for a leadoff single. So Eric Young, with only 2 hits in his last 17 at-bats, leads off the first with a solid hit. And there you see Arabu's line. He has had a lot of problems making the adjustment to the National League.
35 in the 3rd innings, 51 hits. His control has been pretty good, Chip, but they just flat out have been battering this guy all over the ballpark.
And we hope that trend continues today. Look for the Cubs to have a pretty good idea of what Arabu is tossing up there. Remember, Joe Girardi played with Arabu with the Yankees. And I'm sure Joe gave his mates a very accurate scouting report as to the repertoire of the veteran Japanese right-hander. Young, 9 out of 10 in the stolen base department. And Ricky Gutierrez will be the Cub hitter. Ricky at .326 with 5 home runs. He's knocked in 20 on the year. Very quiet, subdued Mother's Day Sunday crowd in Montreal. Moms get in free today at the ballpark, as long as the kids bring them to the yard.
Not quite the crowd we had last night. Last night, 14,000 and some change. I think we'll be a little shy of that here this afternoon.
Well, that man was ecstatic after Lieber's performance last night. 1 ball, no strikes, and Arabu steps off.
Lieber's complete game did change the rotation for next week now. Kerry Wood had been expected to be pushed back until Friday. He now will take his regular turn on Thursday against the Dodgers in that series finale.
1 ball, no strikes. Pitch out, nothing happening. And that means John Lieber will pitch Friday in the weekend series opener against Cincinnati. Lieber, his 4th win of the year, his 2nd complete game, and his ERA went from 4.31 to 3.86. Runner goes, the pitch low, and Widger will have no play. It's a stolen base for Young, his 10th stolen base of the year.
He'd have had no play anyway. EY had a huge jump at first base. Arabu, who'd taken a couple looks at him earlier in this at bat, didn't even bother to look over that time, and EY had that base stolen, no problem.
So double digits in stolen bases for Eric Young. And he's in scoring position with nobody out here in the first. 3-0 to Gutierrez, and ball 4 outside. So Arabu is in some early trouble here in the first, and that's the way we like it. So here's Sammy Sosa. Sosa, 2 out of 6 in the series. Sammy just murdering the baseball of late. 18 for his last 41 over a 10-game stretch, 5 homers and 14 runs batted in. He's sitting on 349 lifetime home runs, and this is his first look against Arabu. And Hideki can't find the strike zone right now and wants a new baseball. Yankees traded Arabu to Montreal for Jake Westbrook, a right-hand pitcher, left-hand pitcher Ted Lilly, and Christian Porter back on December 22nd of last year. That's a strike, says Joe Brinkman, the home plate umpire. 1-1 the count.
Crowd pretty happy about that. That's the first noise they've made.
First strike other than the ball Young hit into left center field. Arabu, 31 years old, 6'4", a generous 240 pounds. Is home in Chiba, Japan. A ball and a strike. Young's trying for third, and it's a rocket shot up the middle for a base hit. Young will score. Ricky round second. He's on his way to third. He'll make it without a play. Sosa has a 7-game hit streak, and the Cubs lead it 1-0 here in the first.
Terrific start for the Cubs. 2 hits and a walk in between, and Sammy gets another RBI. And the Cubs have something going here in the first. And you know Valdez is loving this in the dugout. Big jump right there by EY, and the ball past the shortstop and on into the outfield. It's crawl home time for Young, and Gutierrez, a good job of base running all the way to third.
So they're at the corners. Still nobody out for Henry, who's 2 for 8 in the series. He drove home a run as well. Here in Montreal, bouncing ball toward first. The out there. They'll have to apply the tag to Sosa. There's the tag. Runners coming home. It's a triple play. A triple play in Montreal. How about that? 3-6-2, and the Cubs are out on a triple play in the first inning. Stevens to Cabrera to Widger. A late break by Gutierrez. I don't know what he was waiting on. He's got to be going on contact. There's the tag, and Cabrera all kinds of time. The throw, the slide to the outside part of the dish looked close, but Joe Brinkman says you're out. It's a triple play, and that's not going to make you happy on Mother's Day.
Flying to the Boston area for business? If these 13 reasons don't convince you to fly Southwest Airlines to Providence or Manchester, maybe this will. Call 1-800-I-FLY-SWA.
You are now free to move about the country.
Did you know that a contact lens in the hands of an eye care professional can take your vision to another level? This is AccuView 2, and 7 out of 10 who wear it see better than 20/20. And you thought 20/20 was as good as it gets? Ask your eye care professional about the #1 doctor-prescribed lens, AccuView 2. AccuView, advancing the science of sight.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Want to make your ice cream more exciting? Pour on Hershey's chocolate syrup.
Cubs lead by 1, but we've hit into a triple play. Here's how Montreal lines up. Bergeron in center, Vidro at second, Rondell White in left, Vladimir Guerrero, Lee Stevens, Tracy at third, Widger, Cabrera, and Arabu. The pitcher bats 9th against Ismael Valdez, making his 3rd Cubs start, Dan Roan.
And already faring better than Arabu did in the first inning. Young single off his first pitch. And here's the defense behind the Cubs pitcher, the Pepsi defense. Rodriguez, Buford, Sosa in the outfield. Green, Gutierrez, Young, and Andrews. Valdez and Girardi, the battery for the Cubs this afternoon.
Bergeron, 3 hits in the series. An RBI as well for the Expos. He scored a couple of runs in the series opener, an 8-3 Montreal victory. A slap shot hit toward left, but a good jump by Henry. He's under it, and there's out number 1. Ismael Valdez, his 3rd start of the year, will battle a right hamstring problem throughout this ball game. That's something the Cubs will monitor very, very closely. Of course, he's had a tendonitis issue and blister problems on the right hand. So the Cubs wrap into a triple play in the first inning. The last time they did that was when Benito Santiago hit into a 5-4-3 triple killing against Milwaukee early last year.
And for the Expos, their first since September 29th, 1994.
Boy, what started so promisingly, 1st and 3rd, not out, a run in. A 3-6-2, most unusual triple play. And just when you think you've seen it all, Don Baylor, you see something else, huh? High fly cranked to left by Vidro and deep. Henry back, track at the wall. It's high off the wall. Henry didn't play that real well. Vidro into second. Guess what? It's a double. His 13th of the year. And now it's a 12-game hit streak for him.
Popping some fireworks beyond the center field fence. They love those doubles up here in Montreal. And here's another look. Vidro going the other way, and Henry chased it all the way to the wall and then saw it bounce off the wall above his head and back toward the infield. He really did get too close to the fence here to make this play the way it should have been made. Not that he wouldn't have gotten the 2 anyway. And Vidro a doubles machine here in the year 2000.
Had 45 of them last year, already 13 this year, and a chance for the Expos to score the equalizer with Rondell White. White hitting .293, 3 homers, 24 batted in. There is talk that a lot of teams are calling Jim Beattie about this man in the Expo order. Rondell White has a lot of value. And there are some who say that, one, there might be a lot of interest in White being moved for some pitching. Montreal looking for more of that. Again, they're only 1 game out of the wild card. But health has always been a concern for Rondell, and playing every day on this rock-hard artificial surface does not help him in that regard. Secondly, there have been whispers that once Ricky Henderson clears waivers, that Montreal might be a team interested in acquiring his services. Now, if they do that, they could put White in center, Ricky in left. They'd have a bona fide leadoff guy, and they could bring Bergeron off the bench. So Montreal figures to be pretty active here in the next week or so. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Montreal left fielder. High and tight to Rondell White. White lifetime, a 5 for 26 hitter against Ismael Valdez, who's 26 years old, out of Mexico. High pop, big pitch already in the game, and Gutierrez drifts back, and he'll make the catch, and there's out number 2. A triple play in the first inning off the bat of Henry Rodriguez.
Another look, Henry with a bouncing ball down to the first baseman. Lee Stevens did a good job here, to the bag and then on to second. Now Sammy Chip has to stop here and waste some time so Gutierrez can score, or Ricky has to hang on at third, one or the other.
Or break as soon as the ball is hit.
Yeah, he was either late breaking or he shouldn't have broken at all, but anyway you cut it, both those guys could have done something differently to avoid that. They both didn't do it, and as a result, first double play for the Expos since '94. Or triple play, I should say.
So here's Vladimir Guerrero struggling, a 3 for 19 homestand for Guerrero, still 5th in hitting at .370 and 33 runs batted in. Guerrero actually struck out twice last night, and that one popped up. Girardi gives chase, and it's out of play for a strike.
Guerrero's had plenty of success against Valdez. He had none last night against Lieber, who really had him tied up. That first at bat set the tone. 3 straight curveballs, each one a little bit further off the corner, and Vladimir chased all 3.
1 ball, 1 strike. It's 2-1. Well, a special day today. Mother's Day around the world, but even more special for the Harris family. Happy first birthday to Matthew Ryan Harris. Parents Lori and Craig watching the game today, and there's a run. Deep center field, and that's an unhappy Mother's Day. A 2-run homer, Vladimir Guerrero. Wow. His happy mom. A 2-run rope into straightaway center field off the bat of Vladimir Guerrero. His 3rd lifetime homer against Valdez.
The free swinger finally got one in his zone, and he knew it from the moment it left his bat. 414 feet to dead center field. A cannon shot by Vladimir Guerrero puts the Expos in front here in the first.
So it's 2-1. And Lee Stevens will be the hitter. But again, congratulations to Arnie Harris, the proud grandpa, to Lori and Craig Harris, and grandmother Arlene as well. Boy, that's just terrific. Hard to believe it. Matthew Ryan, a year old already. And boy, that's just wonderful. We can't wait to see him again at the ballpark. We know he's having a wonderful birthday today. And boy, Matthew, someday when you're looking at the tapes of this ball game, I hope you'll know how much your grandpa loves you. Downstairs to Stevens. 3 balls and a strike. And the fans in Montreal love that guy, Vladimir Guerrero. Boy, is he something special. And ball 4 to Stevens. You know, Guerrero is a very, very shy young man working on the English language. Is almost painfully shy. Felipe Alou said he's almost innocent, almost naive in a way. You look at him and you say, are you sure he's 24? He looks like he's about 15 years old. But he is a man-child for these Expos. And he's the guy that single-handedly might be able to resurrect this franchise in Montreal. Andy Tracy, the batter. And he takes a strike. Tracy had a monster season last year at Double-A. At Harrisburg, he hit 37 home runs. Michael Barrett, the youngster out of Atlanta, Georgia, was sent down to Triple-A with 9 errors in the first 38 games for the Expos. They lead it 2-1. The Cubs had 2 on, none out, and a run in the first, hit into a triple play. Then Vladimir Guerrero unloaded into straightaway center, a 2-run shot to give the Expos the lead. Smacked out of play by Tracy. It's 2-2.
Those are 2 huge plays, Chip, in the game. A couple of potential momentum changers. You know, the Cubs had it going, had a chance for a big inning in the first and hit into the triple play, and then this. You hope things can get back turned around the other way, because you don't want to see it get started off like this. Put yourself way down here early in the first inning, especially for a guy like Valdez who's trying to get his rhythm out there.
2-2. Ripped hard towards second. EY, good play. 360 spin and the throw to first in time. Vladimir Guerrero rifles a 2-run homer in the first, and after one, we've seen some more crazy baseball in Montreal. The Expos lead it 2-1.
If a replacement windshield isn't installed right, you could have a slight leaking problem. So go to PPG ProStar Certified Technicians. They're professionals who do the job right the first time. For auto glass repair or replacement, call 1-800-PPG-7011.
Okay, Louie, take it away.
Take me out to the ball game.
Take me out to the crowd. Yeah.
I don't care if I never get back, so let's root for the home team.
If they don't win, it's a shame, 'cause it's
at the old ball game. I like that.
That fella can sing, huh?
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
The new ProStart Plus battery from Pep Boys. Every size, every battery, one great price, $39.99. And in 16 sizes, ProStart Plus fits almost all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs at just $39.99.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
2-1 after one in favor of Montreal. Willie Green, Shane Andrews, and Joe Girardi will face Hideki Arabu here at Olympic Stadium in Montreal. The Expos have turned the second triple play in the major leagues this year. Atlanta turned one earlier. So Green comes a calling, a .303 batting average. And he cuts and misses at strike one. Rabu has not gotten a whole lot of offensive support in this era of the lively baseball. He's getting about 4.5 runs a game. That's the lowest on this Montreal pitching staff. But when you keep giving up rockets all over the ballpark, it's not going to matter how much offense you get. Guerrero throws behind Green. The throw hits him in the head. He's going to go all the way to third. He might be able to score. They're going to wave him. How about this play? Willie Green has scored on a single to right, and 2 errors by Montreal. One a mental mistake by Guerrero. The other a terrible throw by Stevens that hits him in the helmet and ricochets into the outfield.
Okay, so it's going to be like this today.
Yep.
Huh? Here you go. Guerrero in right field picks up the single. Tries to throw behind Green to Stevens, and Willie heads up base running here, trying to get down to second. Real heads up right there because the ball bounced right off his helmet and between the outfielders, and a run in for the Cubs. Unbelievable here in the second inning. We thought the triple play was weird.
Something about this place brings out some weird baseball. And Guerrero, for all of his greatness, sometimes can be goaded into making a poor decision in the outfield. Last year, 19 errors. That was not an error by him, but he threw behind the base runner. Green goaded him into making that play. And then Stevens, in his haste, hit Green in the back of the head, and he came around to score. So it's a single, and error on the first baseman. And the Cubs have tied the game at 2 here in the second with nobody out. Crowd so stunned they didn't even have a chance to boo Shane Andrews, which is something they've been doing all weekend.
Wait till they realize it's him. Well, they should be happy because Shane has had a terrible weekend here at the building in which he once played.
Shane 0 for 15 in this season's matchup against Montreal at Olympic Stadium. A little pop off the end of his bat. Stevens runs to a spot, nears the seats. And let's hope everybody survived down there. 1 ball,
like
2
a
strikes.
bomb
It sure
off.
did.
Just think if it landed in somebody's lap. Ouch.
And there's the lucky customer that comes away with the souvenir. Old foul into the Cub dugout. 2-2 game in the second.
Well, it seems like every Cub hitter that's been up there has been all over this guy. You know, they're timing his pitches. Everybody's waiting back, getting really good swings. And it's starting to show. 3 hits already and a couple of runs.
And Shane expands the strike zone, and he'll be thrown out. That'll be 8 times he has struck out in 16 at-bats here in Montreal. And you know, you hate to use the expression trying too hard to make an impression, but I think that's exactly what Shane is trying to do.
Well, he certainly swung at a bad ball that time. That ball barely got to the plate before it hit the ground, and Woodger picks it up and flips it down to first to complete the strikeout. First one for Hideki Irabu this afternoon.
So this sets up a real interesting confrontation. Irabu against his former catcher, Joe Girardi. We'll see how successful Joe is in battling Irabu here in the second. And he looks that ball in. 1 ball, no strikes. Irabu really tries to dazzle with a variety of off-speed stuff. He'll throw any pitch, any speed, at any time in the count. Threw a 67-mile-an-hour batting practice fastball to Andrews, and then he's able to get it up there in the upper 80s with the fastball. Makes that pitch much more effective if he can get the off-speed pitch over first.
Again, Joe with a good rip at a fastball that was definitely in his zone. Girardi's average popping up in the last few weeks, all the way up to 261.
Well, he's put in a lot of summer school work with Jeff Pentland, the hitting coach of the Cubs, trying to get his legs involved in the swing, not just his arms. Good rip and out of play. 2-2.
Of course, Joe's a guy with a lot going on, Chip. Trying to get a couple of starting pitchers back in the rotation and help them along too in Valdez and Kerry Wood. So it's been a very busy month of May for this guy.
2-2. A little hopper over the mound. Cabrera will charge, handle the turf bounce, and makes the play. And there's out number 2. Before Damon Buford bats in a 2-2 game, let's pause quickly for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
On a lovely Mother's Day Sunday in Montreal, Dan Roan, Chip Carey, and our entire WGN crew from Olympic Stadium. It's a game tied at 2 in the second. Damon Buford at .252 with 5 home runs and 14 batted in. He's looking for his second hit of the series. And it's popped straight back to even up the count. Well, on this Mother's Day, we got to send along some congratulations to a father today. The Stottlemyre family. They became the first father-son baseball combination in Major League history to record 300 wins. Todd Stottlemyre picked up his 7th the other day. He's won 136. His dad, Mel, won 164 times in his big league career. And everybody wishing Mel Stottlemyre the best as he battles cancer. And you know, Todd's going out there with his dad on his mind each and every time out there, and he's responded with just a fantastic year. He and Randy Johnson both with 7 wins, and Damon Buford just unloaded deep into the seats in left. His 6th home run of the year. The 6th allowed by Irabu, and the Cubs right back in front, 3-2. And that was a no-doubter.
Vladimir Guerrero homered in the first inning for Montreal, and Damon Buford came back in the second and said, "Take that." Buford all over this one. A fastball inner half from Hideki Irabu, and Buford was waiting for it.
His career high in homers is 10, set 2 years ago with the Red Sox. He has 6 already. And tomorrow is the 15th of May. So the Cubs have a 3-2 lead, and Ismael Valdez bats for himself here. He had a base hit. His last time around, running the bases, strained that hamstring.
Ouch.
Right off the face mask of Widger. Look how far that ball traveled into the seats.
I had to check and see if he cracked the mask. Boy, what a noise that made.
That's our WGN-TV mask mic.
I'll tell you what.
Valdez grounds to Stevens at first, and that retires the side. Boy, the ball really rocketing all over the yard so far in this game. A couple of homers, a triple play, and a weird defensive blunder by Montreal. It all adds up to a 3-2 Cub lead.
He wants to live in America.
There's been a major clampdown on illegal aliens marrying for residency status.
She just wants a bigger apartment.
Snoring your manners are atrocious.
You're snub. Andy McDowell.
Let him move into my apartment. I can't believe you're saying this.
Gerard Depardieu.
You silly French. Oh.
2 perfect strangers. A marriage of inconvenience.
Who the hell do you think you are? I'm their husband.
Green Card. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on WGN.
Still got athlete's foot?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desonex Max. One Desonex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot.
Cure it to the max. New Desonex Max.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take the Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for $99. And all 70,000-mile tires are 4 for only $169. Even top-of-the-line 80,000-mile touring tires, all sizes 4 for $199. Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
All the moms get in free in Montreal today, which I guess is different than saying all the mothers get in free. We had a big debate about that in our production meeting before the game this afternoon. 3-2 is our score. Valdez going back to work here in the second. Hot shot by Widger down the right field line. That ball slicing and It's foul, but by an eyelash. He missed a home run by a couple of feet, and he's behind. No balls, 2 strikes. And Dan, because he's filling in for Steve Stone, got his way. He decided that moms would be the proper way to conduct our open, so he did it his way.
A lot of funny noises in this ballpark, you know?
That was a very nice attempt at changing the subject. However, I'm not going to let you do it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Yes, they do have some funny noises, Dan.
Horns and all different kinds of noisemakers.
Swing and a miss by Widger. He's down on strikes. A 1 for 15 homestand for the Expos catcher. And there is out number 1.
First strikeout of the afternoon for Ishmael Valdez. A fastball inner half, and he blew it right past him.
Hey, it's Youpie. The ever-present Steve Stone lookalike mascot of the Montreal Expos.
Stoney loves that guy, doesn't he?
He loves Youpie. He likes the Pirate Parrot the best, though. In July of '98, the Pirate Parrot brought him a birthday cake, if you can believe it.
I remember that.
Bouncing ball smashed towards short. Ricky corrals it, doesn't panic, and makes a good strong throw. Cabrera is 2 for 16 on the homestand and is 0 for 1 today.
So the turf giveth and the turf taketh away there. The ball got out there so quick, Ricky couldn't get it cleanly, but it also got out there fast enough to give him plenty of time to recover, and Cabrera's out without much trouble at first base.
So Arabu will bat with the bases empty and 2 men down. The Cubs in front by a run. And look for the Cubs once we get back home. They're going to start taking a little bit off the top of that infield. I think the Cubs want it to be just a little bit quicker on that infield grass. The pitchers probably aren't going to like that. However, Don Baylor feels that if you can take a little bit off the top of that grass, you might be able to turn a few more double plays. Smash to right. Sammy thought about throwing to first. He had a shot at Arabu, but he could not come up cleanly.
He was dead at first base. Sammy had thrown him out by 10 feet.
Yeah, Sammy, you had him, but he couldn't come up clean. First base hit for Arabu on the year.
Arabu just drops the head of the bat on this ball and shanks it out there to right field. And Sammy, he was out by a good 10 feet had he been able to make the pickup cleanly. That's been a problem for Sosa. It's been a problem all season long. I don't know if he needs a new piece of leather out there or what the story is. I know last year he was breaking one in for this year. I don't know if that's the same glove or not.
Oh, ask him about that. So Arabu, a 2-out hit to right, brings Bergeron to the dish. Bergeron, not a whole lot of power. And as you see, not a whole lot of luck with that batting average. But boy, if he gets on, he can really, really fly.
Had a good start in this series in the opening game Friday. Had a triple and a single. Not much since then.
He came over from the Dodgers in the Carlos Perez, Mark Grudzielanek trade. And they think that either he or Milton Bradley will be the prototypical leadoff man for this Expo organization for many, many years to come. Arabu represents the game-tying run here on Mother's Day Sunday. Two balls and a strike. An off day tomorrow. Then a Tuesday night game against Los Angeles. Our first look at Davey Johnson's L.A. Dodgers, who are trying to sweep the Cardinals today in St. Louis. Way high. He's popping that fastball, but he's walked his second man. Two on, two out. And now you have to be careful, for here is Vidro, who ripped a double his first time up. Well, what a player this guy's turned out to be.
Look at that average, 378 with the double already this afternoon. A homegrown product of the Montreal Expos farm team, Jose Vidro.
And the Expos weren't sure if he was the real deal. At the end of last year, he got hurt. Missed the latter portion of the schedule for the Expos. Still had a magnificent season. They were concerned about the health. They were concerned about him being a one-year wonder. They had Mickey Morandini in their camp. Vidro played so well, however, this spring that they sent Morandini to the Phillies for cash. A high pop and out of play. 0-2. Two on, two out for Montreal. Vidro, a 12-game hitting streak. And he slaps that ball to left, right at Henry. And the inning is over. No runs, one hit. Two more Expos are left after two. Cubs lead it by a run. It's 3-2 at Stade Olympique.
Still got athlete's foot, wincing from the itching, yearning to stop the burning?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desonex Max. It's got a powerful new ingredient others don't have, so it takes fewer applications to cure your athlete's foot. In fact, one tube of Desonex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot, don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desonex Max.
$32.75.
I didn't bring my purse.
For the great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down. Make it a Bud Light.
It did look good on her.
Who's asking about Viagra? Someone you might expect, and also someone that maybe you wouldn't. In fact, you may be surprised at who's talking to their doctors about Viagra. So ask your doctor if a free trial of Viagra is right for you. Who's asking about Viagra? Maybe it should be you.
A mind-altering implant threatens David's wife.
I don't remember our life together.
Total Recall 2070.
Tonight at 9 Eastern on WGN.
Here we go to the third inning. Top of the Cub order is due. It's 3-2 in favor of the Cubs. Make sure you visit our internet site, www.cubs.com, as EY Bats will tell you all about the Cubs website. Smash to right. 2 pitches, 2 hits for Eric Young. And he's 2 out of 2. New features of the Cubs internet site include interactive cameras located throughout Wrigley Field. You can follow the game live on the net or with our internet gamecast, or you can visit the auction area to see what Cubs items you might find. So remember, www.cubs.com to keep up with your favorite team. Cubs.com is an affiliate of ChicagoSports.com.
Well, Eric Young's just not being selective enough today.
Yeah, he needs to take a few more pitches, right?
2 fastballs, 2 singles, 2 rockets.
And another multi-hit game for him, which has been something of great frequency at the top of the order.
He's just getting ready for the Dodgers.
Well, that's what I was going to say. He's got a score to settle, he feels, with the Dodger front office. He's running. The pitch low. Widger's got no chance. He might steal 5 bases today. He had 3rd stolen in the first inning, too. And no throw as Arabu pays absolutely no attention to him here in the 3rd inning.
Yeah, that's all on the pitcher. The infielders didn't even bother to go cover second base.
It's been a long time since the Cubs have had a man that can create scoring opportunities with his fleet feet.
Well, it's his 11th stolen base, but that one's all on Arabu. I mean, you got to check the runner.
He didn't. And we'll see if Ricky can take advantage. It's ball 3 outside.
So this inning is setting up just like the first inning did. Base hit by Eric Young, potential walk here to Ricky Gutierrez, and then Sammy followed with a base hit in the first.
And ball 4 outside. How about that play? Eric Young bothered Arabu that time. Cabrera was breaking back toward the second base bag. He kind of stuttered. Arabu lost his concentration and missed badly out of the zone to Gutierrez.
Yeah, he caught EY out of the corner of his eye. He bluffed the break for third. Here's another look at it right there, and the shortstop heads back towards second. You know that had to bother the pitcher, and he threw ball 4 way up and out of the zone.
And Arabu looks back at Cabrera as if to say, what are you doing? So here's Sosa. Sammy a base hit. Drive in the first Cub run. Young's running again. Breaking ball. Throw to third is terrible. It bounds into shallow left. Cabrera backing up the play. Does a good job to keep Gutierrez at first. Young steals his third base in as many innings.
Felipe Alou's not messing around with Arabu, Chip. Third inning, he's got Mike Johnson up in the bullpen already. Look at the jump Young got off that base. Unbelievable. Woodger had to hustle the throw down there. A good throw might have had him. But he short hopped it into the third baseman, and the Cubs with now runners at the corners and nobody out. 3 steals already today for Eric Young.
So they're at the corners for Sosa. A high pop over the Montreal bullpen and into the seats.
There's Mike Johnson down in the Expos bullpen along the right field line.
Big RBI chance again here for Sammy. We need a big inning. Let's knock this guy out. The 1-1 pitch. Oh, 1-2.
Pitch
Right
to hit.
Yep, right down the heart of the plate. Young's career high in stolen bases in a game is 6. He did that against the Dodgers. He has 5 3-steal games. Today is his 6th in his major league career. And if he gets on again, he might steal 2 more. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners lead at the corners and the pitch. Rifle deep toward right. Guerrero on the run, nearing the corner. He can't get there. It's a foul ball. That ball slicing away from the Spider-Man. And Sosa gets another hack on the house here.
Well, Vladimir went as far as he could to try and catch that ball. I thought for a second it had a chance to sneak over the wall right at the foul pole here, but it just crossed the line, and Guerrero almost got a glove on that thing. He had a long way to go to get there.
One ball, 2 strikes. And Arabu has the look of a man who doesn't want to throw the baseball right now.
He really looks uncomfortable out there. Almost to every hitter so far.
Well, the Cubs batsmen have made him that way. They've hit ropes all over the diamond. Bouncing ball up the middle. Good play by Cabrera. Look at that athletic move. Stevens pulled off the bag, though. They can't turn the double play. Good hard slide into second by Gutierrez disrupts the rhythm of that play. Scoring from third is Young. Sosa drives in his 2nd run of the day, and the Cubs lead by 2.
A second look. Here's the bouncing ball past the mound. Cabrera, nice pickup and a good throw there too, but it just pulled Stevens off the bag. Otherwise, it's a double play for Montreal, but a great play by their shortstop. And he almost made it a spectacular play.
Super play by Stevens, too, to save that ball from ricocheting toward the Expo dugout. So Sammy's driven home 2 more today. That's 37 on the season. There's a drive. Belted deep right for Henry. Admire that one, folks. A long 2-run rocket shot home run. And we might be saying sayonara to Hideki Arabu before too much longer. The Cubs lead it big here at Olympic Stadium. It's 6-2.
Henry Rodriguez here. Another fastball out over the plate, and Henry all over that thing, way out in front of it. No problem pulling that baseball, and it wound up well up into the seats. And I'll tell you one thing, it didn't take long to get out there either.
Off frozen rope. And the Cubs with a run in the first, 2 in the second, 3 in the third, and another shot, this one into center field off the bat of Green. And the Bluebirds in Montreal not at all happy with Arabu's performance. He is getting absolutely shellacked, and that's going to do it. Felipe Alou has seen enough, and so has the impatient Montreal crowd.
That won't help your ERA. 6 in already, 5 of those earned, and another one at first base after only 2 and a third innings of work.
So Arabu with a tip of the cap got shellacked here in the third inning. He's given up 6 runs, 7 hits. The man at first, his responsibility, and Johnson comes in to try to put out the fire here in the third.
I love my new Toro personal pace self-propel mower so much, I'm letting my neighbors try it.
Wow, so simple to control. This is unbelievable.
He loves it.
It moves at whatever speed I'm walking, and it's easy backing up, too.
She's hooked.
No speeds to adjust. I want one.
I think they're impressed.
The revolutionary Toro Personal Pace Self-Propel Mower. It's a whole new way to mow. Test drive the Toro Personal Pace Mower and register to win a family vacation to Walt Disney World.
This might be a good time to talk about the Michelin X1. Thanks to Michelin technology, it gives you long mileage and better wet braking than any rain tire. And that should make everyone on a wet road happy.
Well, smile and the whole world smiles with you, Skipper. Good lead for the Cubs. It is 6-2. Arabu's been chased, and now Mike Johnson comes on to try to settle things down for the Expos.
Just wants to eat up some innings. That's what Felipe Alou has him in the game to do. But opponents are batting .300 against this guy. 7 1/3, 9 hits, 1 of those a homer. A couple of walks and 3 strikeouts for his season so far. He comes in with a runner at first base, 1 away, and the Cubs on top 6-2 here in the third. A good start this afternoon.
And hopefully we can keep pouring it on here as Andrews looks for his first base hit north of the border this year. Shane struck out swinging against Arabu his first time around. You know, this Montreal team, for all their great young talent, have really been hit by the injury bug. They lost Graham Lloyd, who has suffered through an absolutely tragic season. His wife Cindy passed away of Crohn's disease about a month or so ago. He's had his shoulder operated on. He's probably gone for all of this year, may be able to come back sometime in September. Scott Strickland was supposed to have surgery on his shoulder on Wednesday, but he said his arm felt great after playing a long toss yesterday. They may postpone the surgery for him. But the biggest blow, of course, is losing Ugueth Urbina. He's got at least 1 bone chip in the elbow. They will operate on the right elbow Wednesday here in Montreal. And in losing their closer, they have to take Dustin Hermanson out of the starting rotation and put him in the bullpen. So the Expos are looking for arms, but they've got plenty of company. Just about everyone in baseball is looking for pitching. And they may have to trade a guy like Rondell White to go out and get that arm.
Well, we'll see how quickly Urbina can come back. You know, that surgery that he's going to have is not too far off from what Rod Beck had with the Cubs. Just more of a cleaning up process.
2-2 pitch rifled toward left center field. Bergeron a terrific jump. And he makes the catch. Shane hit that ball very, very aggressively and sharply. But he's out. Number 2. Green is back to first. If it's just a bone chip and it's floating around out there, you're right, he might be able to come back pretty quickly. If it's a spur and they have to shave that bone down like Beck had, it's going to be a pretty lengthy recovery period for Urbina, who is one of the game's best when he's right. So here's Girardi, the Cubs, with 3 more here in the third. Joe grounded out to the shortstop. His first time up in the second. A little pop, shallow right center field. That's tough play. It's going to drop in front of Guerrero, nearly bounces over his head. And Green moves to third on a bloop single by Joe Girardi. So first and third for Buford, who homered his last time up.
A lot of smiles over there in the Cubs dugout. Sammy and Henry. Each of those guys has done the damage this afternoon, and now Joe Girardi gets involved. A little blooper over second base. Perfectly placed among those three defenders, and first and third now for Buford, who really smoked one last time up. So this guy, for a small guy, he's got some power.
And he's getting a chance to play every day, something he has not had the luxury of doing for most of his big league career. A strike, says Joe Brinkman. 0-1. What a big difference it makes for this guy, and for any guy, really, when you come to the ballpark knowing you're going to be in the lineup every day and you're expected to produce, as opposed to not knowing when or if you'll get an opportunity and coming off the bench. And Damon's heard the talk just like everyone else. When he hasn't been productive, the whispers immediately start. Hey, we've got to get Corey Patterson up to the big league club. A, they're not going to rush Patterson, and B, Buford's hitting the ball very, very authoritatively right now. Low and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Foul tipped at the plate.
Well, Don Baylor's a little bit hamstrung over there in the Cubs bench. He doesn't have much to go to in terms of offense off his bench from either side. He said today he's got 2 guys to pick from, one lefty, one righty, because people are hurt and people are having to play because of trades and injuries. Now, Davey Martinez will finally get here Tuesday. He'll be there for the first game against the Dodgers, and we'll see where he winds up in the lineup. I think Baylor wants to play him right off the bat, be it left field, first base. We'll find out Tuesday.
Well, he would have played today had his flight not been canceled out of Cincinnati last night. Dave Martinez spent the day at home with his family yesterday. His son had a birthday party back in the Tampa Bay area and was going to come up here. In fact, tried to do so, but the flight got canceled, and then he decided to go home again. And with a day off, he'll rejoin us in Chicago on Tuesday. Buford hit that ball right back up the middle, but Johnson knocks it down, and he restores order in the third. But 3 more Cub runs score the big blow. A rocket shot 2-run homer by Henry, and it's 6-2.
It didn't have to end like this. Armor All Protecting. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine. It's Armor All.
The king.
Should have used Energizer. They keep going and going and going and going.
Chocolate milk, anyone? Just add Hershey's syrup.
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
Time for our Illinois Lottery fun fact. And here it is. Only 37 players in Major League history whose last names began with an I, and there are 3 of them currently playing in the big leagues. Raul Ibanez of Seattle, Jason Isringhausen of Oakland, and Hideki Irabu, who's not playing anymore today.
That's because they dotted that I. You had a brief look at him. His time was way too short for Felipe Alou's liking.
Rondell White pops that ball up right side. Girardi gives chase. And it hits one of the speakers, and it's a foul ball. Last Cub with more than 2 stolen bases in a game. This is hard to believe. Sammy Sosa, September 29th of '93. That tells you how the Cubs attack has been put together the last decade or so.
Really built on speed too much. Sammy was about 35 pounds lighter when he stole those 4 bases too.
And Young has a real good chance of pouring it on today. Speaking of pouring it on, the Cardinals have scored 3 in the first against the Dodgers. We'll face LA next. A weak fly ball hit to right. Hit that ball almost one-handed off the front foot, and it carries into straightaway right field. So White is retired. 1 up, 1 down here in the third. Dodgers, by the way, trying to sweep St. Louis. They're going to have to come from behind to do that. It's Carlos Perez against Pat Hentgen. Perez really has pitched good baseball. He's won 3 of 4 decisions for Los Angeles. Jim Edmonds, by the way, a base hit and an RBI. His first hit for the Cardinals since signing that very lucrative contract 2 days ago. So here's Vladimir Guerrero. Guerrero, a 2-run homer in the first inning that briefly put Montreal in front. A roller hit to the left side. Green corrals that. Has to hurry. Guerrero runs well and beats it out. Big man Vladimir Guerrero is a free swinger, but what you have to love about him is he hustles on every play. A lot of guys would have given up on this one, but he motors down the line and beats the Rapid first.
Willie took that extra step, patted the ball, and embarrassingly enough for him, Vladimir Guerrero was able to beat it out. Got to get rid of that baseball.
But look how hard he busted down the line. Infield hit for Guerrero, his second of the day, and here's Lee Stevens. Stevens, who came over in that big 3-team trade between Texas, Toronto, and Montreal, an exchange of first basemen. Fulmer went from Montreal to Toronto. Segui went from Toronto to Texas. Stevens, a man that had been released by 3 different ball clubs, including Montreal, came back to the Expos and has given Montreal what Fulmer really has not been able to give them, and that's power. And speaking of power, McGuire has unloaded. It's now a 4-0 game as we update that score for you in St. Louis.
Was that victory or home run total or feet on that?
There's a rocket. Ouch. How far is that one going to go? Way out of here, in between the bleachers and the tarped off seats. A 2-run homer for Stevens. There's that power we talked about, and it's a 2-run game.
He's had good swings all series. Had a home run or so he thought last night, but Sammy got to it right at the wall. But this one, there was no doubt about it. Over the bleachers, onto the walkway between the bleachers and the tarped off seats out there in deep right field. Breaking ball up in the zone, and Stevens absolutely crushed it.
And you saw Ismael's reaction as soon as Stevens made contact. He knew it was way out of here. So it's a tight game again. 6-4 is our score. 8 home runs by Lee Stevens, a man that with Texas over the last 3 years hit 67 and drove in 226. So Montreal right back in this one. 6-4 ball game. Just missed to Tracy. 4-1. Ball 2. Base is clear, one man out in our third inning. A happy Mother's Day from Montreal. Inside. Ball 3. Valdez thinking the squeeze is on here from Joe Brinkman. He was ahead 0-2, but run it full.
I was going to ask somebody who plays the infield today, Chip. When we get the camera shot from center field, you see those double exposures on the glass back behind home plate. I wonder if that bothers any of the infielders, or is that just a television thing?
He lost him ahead 0-2. Aaron Valdez walks his third man.
Well, Valdez thinks he struck out Andy Tracy twice in that at bat. That last pitch was pretty good too.
And out comes Rick Kranitz, who is the acting pitching coach of the Cubs this weekend. Again, Oscar Acosta attending his daughter's high school graduation out in New Mexico. And Oscar, we congratulate you and the entire family on your daughter's wonderful achievement. And we look forward to seeing you when we get back to Chicago Tuesday against the Dodgers. You saw Don Baylor tell Cranny, look, he's got to establish that fastball. Tell him to get the fastball over. He's nibbled a bit here with Tracy. So now Chris Widger will bat. He's got home run power. He's hit 7 of them, but struck out his first time up. A lot of pitches early for Valdez in the ball game. Breaking ball in for a strike. Widger at 291 at the start of this ball game. Rolls that toward third. Green won't hesitate this time, and he throws out Widger by a step, and that retires the side. An infield hit by Guerrero, who hustled on the play. Stevens with a 2-run homer, and Tracy stays at first with 2 men down. And here's Cabrera. Cabrera rolled to short. His first time up. A 2-for-16 homestand for the Montreal shortstop. No balls and a strike to Cabrera. Well, this Montreal team has a wonderfully distinct Latin American flavor. With Vidro, with Guerrero, with Cabrera, with Wilton Guerrero. With Batista, with Lira. And the credit for that goes out to their international scouting director, Fred Ferreira, who has done an amazing job of continuing to stockpile Caribbean talent on this Montreal team. You know, the story about Vladimir Guerrero, an amazing one. The Dodgers had him in their tryout camp at their academy, didn't like what they saw. Vladimir went to the Montreal camp. They signed him that day. And he blossomed into the 5-tool star that you see now. In fact, Guerrero showed up at the Expo camp wearing 2 differently sized shoes. Ran a 6.5-second 60-yard dash. Was throwing laser beams all over the baseball diamond. And they figured they could teach him how to hit. And they paid the guy that brought him on the motor scooter to their academy $200. It might have been the best $200 this Montreal organization ever invested in a ball player. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Breaking ball hammered to left. It's going to hang up for Henry. He's got it. And Cabrera and the Expos are retired in the third. 2 runs on, 2 hits, 1 left. New ball game, 6-4 in favor of the Cubs on this lovely Mother's Day Sunday.
Still got athlete's foot? wincing from the itching, yearning to stop the burning?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. It's got a powerful new ingredient others don't have, so it takes fewer applications to cure your athlete's foot. In fact, one tube of Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot, don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take the Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked Best Original Equipment Tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich Tires. Take control.
Melanie Griffith goes undercover to catch a cold-blooded killer, a stranger among us. Monday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
It's 6-4 after 3 here in Montreal. The Stadium Club in full attendance this afternoon on Mother's Day Sunday. And there's the general manager of the Cubs, Ed Lynch. And there is Sharon Panazzo as well, checking out some computer data. Friends, come on out to the ballpark Wednesday, June 14th for your chance to take home a special limited edition Cubs Charlie Brown Pez dispenser with candy. The first 15,000 fans to arrive at the Cubs Mets game get a Charlie Brown Pez dispenser with commemorative card. Compliments of Fox Sports Net. I never knew you had to have a commemorative card with a Charlie Brown Pez dispenser.
Don't ask me, man. I'm not into that collectible stuff.
No?
No. Any of that kind of thing.
Well, that's a good promo, though, as Valdez swings and misses.
Well, the kids love those Pez dispensers.
Yeah, Pez is good. It's good stuff. Breaking ball, strike 3. And Valdez is rung up for out number 1 here in the 4th. So Johnson retires. Valdez and Eric Young a chance to create some more havoc on the base paths. 3 steals, 2 runs, 2 singles.
And he's looked at 2 pitches. First pitch fastball each time up. One to left and one to right.
He does not agree with the old adage that patience is a virtue. This time he takes ball 1 low.
I would have swung at that one just for the heck of it. You notice they started him off with a breaking ball this time.
That one catches the corner. Mark McGwire, as we showed you, hit his 535th career home run, passing Jimmy Fox for 9th on the all-time list. The Cardinals now with 76 home runs. And now McGwire 1 homer behind Mickey Mantle for 8th all-time. Oh, that's amazing. Ground ball toward the whole left side. Cabrera's going to have to hurry. Stubbed his toe and got Young by a step. Good play in the hole by the Young shortstop.
Cabrera's flashing a little leather here on Mother's Day afternoon. At second base and in the hole between second and third. That's a good play there against a very speedy base runner in Eric Young.
So 2 up, 2 down for Ricky Gutierrez. He's walked twice, has been stranded once, and he backs away for ball 1. 6 runs, 8 hits for the Cubs, 4, 5, and 1 error for the Expos. Ismael Valdez has given up a couple of 2-run homers.
Finally figured out who he looks like a little bit.
Hit me. Antonio Banderas.
No, well, yeah, a little bit. Dennis Quaid, too.
Yeah.
A little Dennis Quaid in him.
Grounded toward third, and that ball eats up Tracy, the third baseman.
You know, if people at home only knew what you had to go through to do this job.
Andy Tracy got eaten alive on this hot smash.
They rule it a base hit. Got a bad hop right off the seam there between the dirt and the turf portion of the infield. Almost caught that one in the face.
So it's ruled a hit, and justifiably so. And now Sammy Sosa will stand in as a lost swallow seeking Capistrano has been trapped inside the ballpark. I think it's actually a pigeon, but
I don't know if trying to track it with that camera is a real good idea.
A little vertigo action for you at home. Sorry about
bird
that.
with some speed.
Yeah,
there.
exactly. The passenger pigeon. 1 ball, no strikes. And low. I'll never forget watching a game at Shea Stadium in New York one time. Deion James hit a fly ball to left that hit a bird.
There you go.
Remember that?
Oh, yeah. Somebody did it in Toronto, too.
Well, Dave Winfield threw a ball at a seagull and got thrown in jail. Line to right. He hit a seagull with a thrown ball.
Unintentionally,
and
too.
The cops hauled him off to the Hoosgow. Our cameraman Mouse to our left took a pot shot at the bird. 2-1. There's another rope hit to left, and that's going to bounce in front of White. High hop off the turf. Ricky's going to try for third. The throw is not nearly in time. Sosa has his second hit, and the Cubs have some 2-out lightning working here in the 4th inning.
Rondell White's been pretty busy out there in left field today. Sammy on a fastball that moved in toward him. Hit it very hard and almost bounced over the head of White. Pretty good base running by Ricky Gutierrez to get in there at third on the base hit to left, and a ball that got out there pretty quickly too. So runners at the corners. 2 out for the Cubs here in the 4th inning, trying to improve on a 2-run lead.
And downstairs to Henry, who hit into a 3-6-2 triple play. Yes, that's right, a triple play in the first, and then unloaded a 2-run shot in the third against Hideki Arabu, who was chased after only 2 innings and a third today. Another rope into right field. That's going to drop for a hit. It'll score Ricky Gutierrez, and Sosa will stop at second. Cubs and another run. 7-4, a big 2-out hit for Henry, his 3rd RBI of the game.
Boy, Mark Johnson mowed the first 2 hitters down, and then bang, 3 straight singles for the Cubs, and another run and a 7-4 lead, and more action down there in the Montreal bullpen.
Felipe Lira is going to get up. So 7-4 in favor of the Cubs, and Green pops the first pitch up left side. It's slicing out of play and over the Cub dugout for a strike.
Boy, Henry really having a big afternoon here at Olympic Stadium with 2 hits and 3 runs knocked in already. We're only in the 4th inning.
No balls and a strike. Breaking ball misses low. Well, times like this, Dan, we had that shot of the bird soaring so effortlessly through the air here at Olympic Stadium. Always brings to mind my old partner down in Orlando, Florida, the Goose, Jack Gibbons, watching the game this afternoon on WGN TV. And Goose had one of the all-time great scoring performances in NCAA history.
Championship game.
As he spanked those Duke Blue Devils all by himself.
That's what he says, anyway.
Oh, absolutely. But Goose getting busy again. Had a big year with the Orlando Magic. And now getting ready for some network work with the NBA playoffs. And one of the good people in sports. I hope he's enjoying this Mother's Day Sunday with his lovely wife, Linda, and Jeremy and Jamie down in beautiful Windermere, Florida today. Two balls and a strike. A high shot to left off the bat of Green. White drifts back, has plenty of room. He's under it. He's got it. And that will retire the side. But how about the Cubs? 3 straight 2-out hits. They've added another run. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning with a nice lead. 7-4 your score.
They'll ship anything, anytime, anywhere. And they'll get it there, no matter what.
I don't want to crash twice in one day.
Don't worry. I crash better than anyone I know.
Mel Gibson, Robert Downey Jr., Air America. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on WGN.
When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks, the crisp you can't resist.
When did you folks see the light?
On a trip to my sister's, I said, why waste money when we can stay at Motel 6, didn't I, hon? Now see what happens when you listen. It's like that fear he had of cauliflower wouldn't go near the produce section.
Call us and see the light for yourself.
If the idea of bifocal vision correction seems too much for a mere contact lens, it is. This is something more scientific. AccuView bifocal contact lenses is designed with 5 vision zones to help you see clearly at varying distances, so you can focus both near and far. Sharp as ever. Ask your eye care professional about AccuView bifocal. AccuView, advancing the science of sight.
In the lawless land of the West, Chris Christopherson tracks a killer. Wanted, dead or alive. Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
All right, Dan, time to take a look at our email of the day. It's brought to you by ChicagoSports.com. Cameron Bastani from Paducah, Kentucky asks, what is a Sunday hop? It's a nice, lazy, easy bouncing ball that is handled by one of the infielders. On that second hop, it hops right up into the glove almost effortlessly. They're able to pick it up and make a throw to a base. Hope that answers your question, and hope we hear from more of the great fans of the Cubs around the country and around the world on WGN.
You are just a font of knowledge, aren't you?
Well, some might call it knowledge, some call it something else, I suppose. As Blum pinch hits.
I think the bigger question with the Sunday hop, though, is where did that term originate? That's what Cameron wanted to know.
Don't know, Jim. Don't know. I'll tell you what, I'll ask the master historian of the game of baseball, Vin Scully, when he comes to town on Tuesday. If he doesn't know, then there is no answer. Way high. Valdez walking the world here. That's 4 in the game. Leadoff free pass. And now the order is turned over to Bergeron. Bergeron flied to left and walked. Valdez has to work 5 to qualify for the win. He might be lucky to get through 6 today with the high pitch count. And a strike over the outside corner. That's 73 pitches through 3+ innings for Ismail.
Well, the first time he threw for the Cubs a couple of weeks ago, Don Baylor had him on about a 100 pitch count. So they're not really worried about his arm. I think they think he's fine in that department. It's more about getting people out here this afternoon.
Swing and a miss. You can overpower this guy. He's not going to hit you out of the ballpark.
It was not exactly a blazing fastball, timed at 82 on the gun, but it was up in the zone, and Bergeron couldn't catch up to it. Now we'll see what Valdez does with him. Ahead in the count, 1-2.
High fly ball hit to left, pretty deep. Back goes Henry, shy of the track. Well, we've got a real lively baseball today in Montreal. Much different game than last night when it was much warmer, much more humid outside and inside. A lot more comfortable environment here tonight. They must have the air conditioning on because the ball is really traveling well for both teams.
Although I would say this, the home runs that have been hit in this game are anything but cheap.
Yeah, they're home runs anywhere. But an example, that fly ball sends Henry almost to the warning track the opposite way. For a man that's hit only one home run this year. So here's Vidro. Be careful with this guy. He's doubled and scored. He's flied to left. That's pumped over and evens the count. Another goofy game in Montreal for the Cubs. Well, we're leading, as you see, by 3. The Expos turned the 10th triple play in their history against us in the first inning. We've seen a throw hit a runner in the helmet that ricochets in the outfield and allows that run to score, and that's the man that had it happen to him, Willie Green. We've seen 1, 2, 3, 4 home runs already in this ball game. 3 two-run shots. Two and two. That misses.
So it's 3 and 2. Rushing a little bit here, Chip, getting a little ahead of himself.
Runner goes, and it's a breaking ball inside. Another walk. That's 5 in the game. 2 are on, 1 is out, and the tying run's going to come to the plate in the presence of Rondell White.
Valdez a bit upset with himself, and Girardi took a short tour out there to give him a yell. Joe made it halfway to the mound and now heads back toward home plate. 5 walks in 4 innings. Well, 3 1/3 actually, and that's going to get you in trouble if you keep that up.
Swing and a miss. Well, another interesting email, Dan, and it involves you. Bill Copperwheat writes, are you the same person who played infield for Pawtucket, coached in the Twins organization, lived in Portland for a while, and who played golf on occasion at Royal T Country Club in Cape Coral, Florida? Never can get a look at his face on TV.
Nope. That would not be me. Although, you know, there was a Dan Roan who played for the Cubs back in the early 80s. Dan is now scouting for Seattle. I ran into him in spring training. He was on that 84 team that won the National League East and gave the Cubs their first championship of any kind in 39 years. He and I used to get messages and mail and all kinds of stuff mixed up.
One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch to White is inside. 2 and 2. Ismail is battling that control today, but he's got the lead 7-4.
Even here in the 4th, he's gotten ahead of these hitters. He just hasn't been able to finish the deal.
Ripped to left field, and that's real trouble. That's going to score Blum. Here comes Vidro. They'll stop him at 3rd. It's a double for White. And hold on, folks. It's 7-5, and Guerrero is the hitter.
Don Baylor putting his bullpen into action. Well, 5 walks in 3 innings and a 3rd, and you knew it couldn't last forever, that he'd be able to get by with that. And he did finally. Rondell White puts the bat on the ball, an extra base hit for him and an RBI, and now a big fly ball by Guerrero puts the Expos back in front.
Here's Guerrero. He takes the ball inside. Ball high. Come on, Ismael. Get the ball over the zone here. Todd Van Poppel getting up, and Big Mac has gone deep again. He ties Mickey Mantle for the all-time homer list. The pitch. Outside. They're pitching around Guerrero, perhaps. And now you've got to walk him. And that's exactly what will happen. So the bases are loaded. 6. Valdez walks. And folks, this one making us all a little bit nervous. 7-5 the score. Bases loaded, 1 out. Lee Stevens the hitter. And let's pause quickly for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
Dan Roan, Chip Carey from Montreal. The Expos are battling back against Valdez and the Cubs. It's been a crazy ball game. The Cubs have played very well offensively today, and now they're hoping they can survive north of the border. A tough hombre to deal with here. Lee Stevens, a 2-run homer in the 3rd. Ball 1.
That's interesting philosophy by the Cubs to walk Guerrero to load the bases to get to a left-hander who's already hit a home run against you.
Strike over the outside corner. Good pitch. High fly center. Buford comes charging. Running start. There's the catch. Runner tags. The throw is not in time. Sac fly, RBI for Stevens. Vidro comes galloping home. A 2-run 4th inning makes it a 1-run game, 7-6. Buford came charging in, put everything he had into that throw, but Vidro's good speed allows him to score.
Buford's path to the baseball took him toward the left field line, Chip, and there's no way he could get himself squared up enough to get that throw on line. And Vidro runs very well from third base. So 7-6 now, and we're now through the 4th inning. I guess last night was just a reprieve.
Oh,
a short reprieve.
It's unbelievable, isn't it? What a difference this game compared to last night. A great, brilliant 2-1 Cub victory. Now Valdez and the Expos in a slugfest, 7-6 in the 4th. Here's Tracy, a ground out and a walk. Breaking ball, squibbed foul past 3rd, and it's even 1-1. Van Poppel is up, getting ready in a hurry. He pitched 2 innings and 2/3. In the series opener, he gave up only 1 hit. Upstairs, 2-1. High drive, belted deep left, and that is gone. Oh, boy. Well, when you walk 6 people, you expect to have problems. And that's exactly what's happened. to Valdez. He's given up 5 here in the 4th, and Montreal has turned this game around. Cubs were leading it 7-4. It's now 9-7. First Major League home run for Tracy.
And absolutely no question about it. Opposite field or not, Tracy got all that one and knocked it about 10 rows up in the left field bleachers, and that'll do it for Ishmael Valdez for this afternoon. First career home run for Andy Tracy, and Todd Van Poppel on his way in from the Cubs bullpen.
Who's asking about Viagra? Someone you might expect, and also someone that maybe you wouldn't. In fact, you may be surprised at who's talking to their doctors about Viagra. So ask your doctor if a free trial of Viagra is right for you. Who's asking about Viagra? Maybe it should be you.
Introducing the new 72-month Pro Start Plus battery from Pep Boys. Every size, every battery, one great price, $39.99. The new Pro Start Plus battery comes in 16 sizes to fit almost all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs on the road today. And at just $39.99, it's sized to fit your budget, too. Throw in our 18-month free replacement, and you'll have every reason to buy a $39.99 Pro Start Plus battery from Pep Boys.
Cars like us.
People love us.
Well, the Cubs looking for some bullpen help today as Ishmael Valdez could not get the job done. 3 2/3 innings. He gives up 9 runs, walks 6 men. One of those intentionally. Valdez struck out 1. He surrendered 3 home run balls. And he leaves trailing by 2, and Todd Van Poppel makes his second appearance as a Cub. So Montreal in a slugfest, leading the Cubs 9-7. 2 outs, bases clear now. 9 runs on 7 Montreal hits. And Widger, the first man to face Van Poppel. And he takes ball 1. Things were looking real good for the Cubs. And there's still a long way to go in this ball game. We're already into the Expo bullpen as well, and they're a little bit shaky down there too because of injury. So hopefully we can outscore these guys. The bats have been great. And still plenty of time in this one. So buckle your seatbelts, grab something cool to drink. Make sure you call your mom, wish her a happy Mother's Day, and get ready for a wacky ball game here in Montreal. High pop out of play. Ripped toward right, and again out of play by Widger. It's 3-2. 9-7 Montreal. 7 runs, 11 hits for the Cubs. 9-7-1 for the Expos. Ishmael Valdez has yet to discover the magic in a Cub uniform. And it's another walk. That's an inauspicious sign. First walk for Van Poppel in this ball game. Again, you look at the Cubs pitching problems that can all be figured out by looking at one stat, and that is the base on balls. Coming into today's game, the Cubs as a team had walked 177 men. We've walked 7 today, so it's 184 total in 40 games. That's real tough to rebound from. A smash by Cabrera is foul. He's the 9th man to hit in the inning. The 0-1 pitch. Swung and belted again. Deep left. Henry at the track. Might have a play. He does. And the inning is over. Boy, oh boy, Cabrera didn't miss by much, but I'm glad he did. Montreal bats around in the 4th. They score 5 times, and they've taken a 9-7 lead.
Stallone's doing hard time.
You're the wrong man!
Shut up, lockout.
This is hell. I'm going to give you the guided tour.
Wednesday at 8 Eastern on WGN.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take the Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
Only one can be the best.
To treat athlete's foot, it's Lamisil AT with full prescription strength. These take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures it with just 1. 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
This might be a good time to talk about the Michelin X1. Thanks to Michelin technology, it gives you long mileage and better wet braking than any rain tire. And that should make everyone on a wet road happy.
When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks, the crisp you can't resist.
Andy McDowell, Gerard Depardieu.
Definitely.
Nothing in common except their marriage. Green Card.
Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on WGN.
Back in Montreal, the Expos have put together a 5-run 4th. And now the Cubs bats have to come back to life. And Felipe Lira will come on with a 2-run lead. So Johnson a chance now to win this ball game. And Lira, the former Tiger, the former Mariner, will try to make life tough on us here at Olympic Stadium. Bouncing ball up the middle. Nice glove stop, Cabrera. Off balance throw, a terrible throw. He had time to throw Andrews out on that play, and in his haste allows Andrews to record his first base hit in Montreal this season.
Here's another look. That one right back up the middle, and Cabrera, with Andrews running, had plenty of time to set and throw. He elected not to do that and threw it way wide of Stevens at first base. Pretty close to an error on the shortstop there.
But Shane now 1 for 18 against his former team.
And he'll take it.
Absolutely. A good start for us here in the 5th inning is Joe Girardi, the batter. He's 1 out of 2. Joe, a base hit back in the 3rd inning. This game started in crazy fashion. The Cubs hit into a triple play in the 1st. Runner goes, swing and a miss. Widger drops the ball, and Shane Andrews steals a base. Boy, we've really figured something out against either their staff or against Widger. For the Cubs have stolen 4 bases in this game already.
Don Baylor shaking his head. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Widger just dropped the ball and had no prayer there. I don't know if he'd have gotten Shane anyway, though, Chip. A pretty good jump again. Been a while. Over a year since Shane's last one.
No balls and a strike to Girardi. Bouncing ball to short. Let's see if Cabrera can make a good throw this time. Unfortunately for us, he does. And Andrews has to stay at second base. Big Cub fan Bob Stuem of Joliet, Illinois. And Bob, I hope I pronounced your last name right. Stuehm. Wanted to know if it's true if the starting pitcher for the Cubs gets to pick the uniform top that we wear during the ball games. And the answer to that is true. John Lieber likes to wear the blue tops. And Ismael Valdez, seeing John have success yesterday, elected for the blue top too, but sadly for him, has not had the same kind of luck. Buford, who hit a home run down the left field line, takes a strike. More home runs again in this ball game. Boy, the home run is becoming like the slam dunk in basketball, unfortunately, in our sport. Not to take away anything from what the hitters do, but it's really become almost the most irrelevant play in the game, because you expect 4, 5, 6 home runs a ball game now. It's a matter of who can hit more home runs than the other ball club day in and day out. That's too bad. That's why it gets kind of hard to get excited about every single home run that's hit when you see so many of them, and from guys who don't usually hit them when they start hitting 5, 6, 7 when their career high is 10 and it's only May. It leads you to believe that there is something going on with the baseball, no matter what baseball and the manufacturers claim to be the case. It's a very lively pelota. Ryan Williams gets up in the Cub bullpen as Van Poppel's spot is due up here in the 5th inning.
We mentioned the fact that Don Baylor doesn't have a lot of guys on that bench to go to today.
1-2. Low 2-2. Jeff Hewson, Jeff Reed from the left side, Julio Zuleta, Jose Nieves, Glenn Allen Hill from the right. Again, we're playing a man short. Davey Martinez not with the ball club.
And Houston still has that ribcage problem.
Right.
And they don't really want to put him out there unless they absolutely have to.
2-2. Took something off, and Buford strikes out.
A good pitch from Lyra. Took something off his right, and that thing just dove to the ground as it crossed home plate, and Buford could not get wood on that one.
Wake up, it's baseball time. The Expos are winning. Oh boy, she's had a little too much Mother's Day brunch, it looks like. Ground ball by Van Poppel, and he'll ground to the shortstop. Low throw by Cabrera, who threw a knuckleball over there, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, 1 man left. We head to the bottom of the 5th inning. The Expos still leading by a pair.
Taught her a new one this morning.
Want to get away? Now you can. With Southwest Airlines low fares beginning at $44.
You are now free to move about the country.
Hey, Bill Duffy, what's on your plate today?
Grandpa, look who's here. We've got them all day.
Grandpa, can I have a pickle?
Even on days like this, even after the heartburn strikes, it's not too late for Pepsid AC, because Pepsid AC controls acid before, during, or even after the start of heartburn.
Now they're having a great time.
No matter what's on your plate, today should be heartburn-free with Pepsid AC.
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, MacGyver makes it happen.
Sounds like an interesting guy.
Weeknights at 11 Eastern.
You got that straight.
Yippee! There's the lovable Expo mascot. It's 9-7 heading to the bottom of the 5th inning. Chip Carey, Dan Roan. Let's take a look at our upcoming schedule brought to you by the new Pepsi AC Chewable.
All starts after a day off Monday. The Dodgers in town for 3. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Day games Wednesday and Thursday. And then the Reds in for the weekend series. And on WGN, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Kerry Wood will pitch on Thursday now. A change from what we told you yesterday, but since Lieber went the distance on Saturday, he's going to be pushed back one day.
Felipe Lira, first pitch swinging, ground ball to short. Ricky, 360 spin, good play. What I liked most about that play from Ricky is he settled. He knew the pitcher was running and didn't rush the throw. Made a perfect toss to Andrews at first for out number 1.
Van Poppel coaxing the ground ball out of the opposing pitcher, and no problem there. John Lieber pitched the best game the Cubs have had pitched for them, certainly this year, maybe in a long time.
It's only the second time this year our pitching staff's allowed 1 run all season. Kerry Wood's done it. John Lieber's done it. And how about that 9th inning? A 4-pitch 9th after falling into trouble in the 8th. I mean, it was a very, very solid performance from John Lieber, who has emerged at this time as the staff ace of the club.
You know, you have to ask yourself what the Expos are doing in the 9th inning, though. Down by a run, and 3 of the 4 guys, or 2 of the 3 guys, swung at the first pitch. The other guy looked at 2 pitches.
Yeah, youthful exuberance. Not real smart baseball, however, and that's what Felipe Alou has to live with so many young players. Ordinarily, a lot of these guys would be in the minor leagues playing every day and learning the lessons down at AAA or AA. They've played basically a 4A ball club here for the last 3 or 4 years. And some of these guys are making the indiscretions of youth, as it were. Two. Full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes to Bergeron. You don't want to put this guy on. Cubs have stolen 4 bags on the day. Eric Young has 3 of them. We led this one 6-2. Now it's 9-7 Expos, and another walk from Van Poppel, the second for him. 8 walks given up by the Cubs in this game. And last night, Eric Young with the game saver.
Didn't have time to take more than 2 steps to his right. That was in the 8th inning with a tying run in scoring position, and Young saved the day for John Lieber and the Cubs.
1 on, 1 out. Here's Vidro. He's doubled. He's scored. He's flying to left. He's walked, and they've got Bergeron picked off. 1, 3, 6. The caught stealing. Another mistake by this young Montreal team. Antoine Cis on the caught stealing. 2 outs, bases empty.
He was off, and he knew he was dead when he made that initial move towards second. Cubs do a nice job in the rundown, and Ricky Gutierrez applies the tag. So now 2 out and nobody on.
I like that situation a lot better with this guy in the batter's box. He's a doubles machine. And a 12-game hitting streak for Jose Vidro.
Good pitch.
Hit the corners, Todd. Don Baylor was real impressed with his fastball the other night. This fastball is not something that Don saw out of Van Poppel in spring training. Now he's got Vidro way behind in the count. Looking ahead to the 6th. The top of that man's order. Young, Gutierrez, and Sosa will come up. Weak ground ball to first. Andrews fields, flips to Van Poppel high, And Todd Van Poppel continues his impressive scoreless string out of the Cub bullpen. Nothing doing for the Expos in the 5th. Let's get some runs. Now's the time to do it. EY is going to lead it off with the Expos ahead by a pair.
Got milk?
Well, that's a silly question.
If you've already got milk, get out the Hershey syrup.
See, now this commercial I like. Oh, yeah.
Eddie, is that you?
Yeah, I've come back to warn you. Beware the spray.
The spray got you? But you were near the tree.
It can't get you near the tree.
Fools! The spray is like no other. One moment I'm fine, the next my roots are like mush.
Eddie, will we be okay?
I don't know. Is dead okay?
Roundup kills tough weeds even near trees. Roundup, no root, no weed, no problem.
Boom! Stop dead in his tracks. That's how fast tough-actin' Tenactin pump spray works. It stops the itching and burning of athlete's foot dead. The only leading brand so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Tackle athlete's foot symptoms in seconds with tough-actin' Tenactin.
After 6 weeks, how does the Dr. Scholl's Dynastep Sport insert feel?
Before I tried the inserts, I had shin splint pain. Now I don't.
It's clinically proven among athletes to provide immediate relief from lower body pain.
When I played basketball, my lower back is much, much better.
Treat yourself right at DrScholz.com.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Chicago Cubs and may not be reproduced nor retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Chicago Cubs.
Inning number 6. Eric Young leads things off. What a day for EY. He's 2 out of 3. He scored twice, stolen 3 bases. And no time like the present to put some more runs on the board. We've scored 7, but the Expos with a 5-run 4th have taken the lead. Valdez gave up 3 home runs today. And I know his name's pronounced Ismail. Sometimes I call him Ishmael. I apologize for that. But he might be saying to himself, Shishmael today after the Expos hit all those balls all over the place. And Young's aboard with a leadoff walk. There's a good start as Lira issues his first free pass of the day.
We'll check out Lira's move to first base, I'm sure, during this at-bat to Ricky Gutierrez.
How many pitches do you think it'll be before he's going?
I think he might want to get one look at him from over there, and I would say second pitch, depending on what Ricky does at the plate. He might be on his way. Ricky with a hit today and a couple of walks, been on base 3 times in a row.
Not going on ball 1. He would have made it on that pitch. It was a slider down and away that Widger had to backhand. And Blank starts to limber up in a hurry. Runners going. The pitch a change. The throw is not in time. EY has stolen his 4th base of the year. Or the game, I beg your pardon. He's 13 out of 14. Huge jump for Young.
Second pitch of the at-bat. We told you he might take one look at this guy and then head out. Huge jump, and I don't think Lira even looked over at him. I mean, the guy's stolen 3 bases already today. I can't imagine why you wouldn't want to go over there and at least some kind of a cursory look at first base, but he didn't even glance over there.
Most stolen bases since 1900 for the Cubs is 4. And Young becomes the 7th man to do that. Most stolen bases in the history of the Cub franchise in a single game is 7 by George Gore, who did it in 1881. Don't count him out. He might try for 3rd here with nobody out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big lead, not going. And it's fouled away.
Cabrera's not playing too far away from second base, trying to keep EY relatively close to the bag, but on those last 2 pitches, Lira didn't even glance back there again. I mean, he might have it if he wants it.
Yeah, with a right-hand hitter up there, too. Widger would be shielded on the play. And let's see what kind of lead EY gets now. Both feet on the carpet. He's dancing around. He's going. The pitch is cut on and missed. And there'll be no throw. 5 steals for Young. And Gutierrez strikes out. Thank goodness Felipe is saying that this guy can't steal first. Wow, what a day for Eric Young.
Here's the pitch, and again, he didn't look back there. Inside fastball. And no throw to third base. 5 steals. Widger looks down to third and realizes the futility of even thinking about throwing down there.
So Ricky is out number 1. Lira has his second strikeout, and Sosa waves and misses. All we need here is a little fly ball to draw a run closer. Although Sammy has designs on popping one out of the ballpark. He's driven home 2. He has 2 hits today. He's scored a run. His fantastic offensive season has continued in this series. He's 4 out of 9 with 3 RBIs. The 0-1. Right through there, 0-2. Yeah, Arnie Harris makes a good point. When was the last time you saw a triple play in a game and saw a team have a player steal 5 bases in the same 9 innings? This crazy, crazy week of baseball for the Cubs continues in Montreal. The 0-2. A little roller. That's going to score a run, and it might be an infield hit for Sosa. It is, and the rocket throw into the Montreal dugout. How about that play? It's a roller for Sosa. That's going to score. Eric Young, it'll be Sammy's 3rd RBI, and he'll get the extra base on the play.
EY gets an enthusiastic welcome over there in the Cubs dugout as the Cubs pull 1 closer. It's 9-8 now, and Sammy picks up his 3rd hit. And they had to issue batting helmets to anybody sitting in the first 3 rows behind first base over there. It's wild behind that bag.
So Lira leaves. He gives up a couple of hits in an inning into 3rd. He's given up 1 run so far. He has struck out 2. He's walked 1. Matt Blank comes on to replace Lira. We've gotten to this Montreal pen. They are scuffling at the moment, and the Cubs are within a run. It's 9-8.
When I got rejected from an Eastern college, it hit me big. Was it my SAT scores, my average grade average, my looks? That's history. I just won the Mega $1 Million big game. I hit it big, and I'm giving a chunk of it to my beloved alma mater right here in Illinois.
Something big you'd like to do? Play the Mega $1 Million big game from the Illinois Lottery. You could hit it big.
Oh, to that school back east? We're talking huge chunk.
Still got athlete's foot, wincing from the itching, yearning to stop the burning?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. It's got a powerful new ingredient others don't have, so it takes fewer applications to cure your athlete's foot. In fact, 1 tube of Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot, don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
I registered my vision.
I registered my cause.
I registered my family.
There's your stolen base leader in the National League. Eric Young had 9 on the year. He's got 5 today in 5 tries. Add to that 2 more hits, and EY is tied with Todd Hilton for 2nd in the National League hit parade, 1 behind Derek Bell of the Mets. So here's Matt Blank. He'll face Henry Rodriguez, tying run at 2nd for the Cubs, and it's a ball low. 1 ball, no strikes. Again, if you had to talk about a guy that might be considered your MVP of this Cub ball club, you might have to take a long look at Eric Young. He has been fantastic. The pitch. is high and out of play. Off to the left side to even the count at 1. A homer, 3 RBIs for Rodriguez today. That's the good news. Bad news is, well, Henry hit into a weird triple play in the first.
Once again, we've seen it all, and I would almost guarantee it's going to take more than 9 runs to win this game, so somebody's in double figures again here in Montreal today. Or will be before we're finished.
Yeah, baseball in a can. Anthony Telford getting ready for the lower portion of our order here. Rocket up the middle, base hit. Here comes Sammy around third. Bergeron up. His throw is a looping toss. It's not in time. Henry drives in his 4th run of the game, and we're tied at 9 apiece. His bat is roasting hot. 25 ribbies on the year. And close the book on Lira. He gives up 2 runs today.
A 2-1 pitch to Henry Rodriguez. A fastball right over the middle of the plate. And lefty on lefty or not, Henry was right there waiting for it. Well, he's been able to get around on everything this afternoon. The home run and this base hit that ties the game at 9. And now definitely somebody's going to hit double figures.
Here's Green. Oh, we hope. We hope someone will hit double figures before we reach double figures in innings. It's getaway man.
Runs are not going to be that hard to come by from here on out. Somebody's going to outscore somebody here.
Downstairs. Green 2 out of 3. He scored once and got beamed on the coconut on a throw by Lee Stevens back in the 2nd inning. He singled. He duped Guerrero into throwing behind him at first. Stevens caught the relay and threw it off his head into left field, and Green was able to score on the play. In for a strike. It's 2-1.
Boy, for a guy with bullpen problems, Chip, Felipe Alou doesn't mess around and putting relievers into the game. He's gone through 4 already with Telford up now, ready to face the next 2 right-handers in the Cubs lineup. He's going to use them until they drop.
Well, he has Batista, Telford, and Klein available. Hermanson's his closer. But they sure miss Scott Strickland. And I think they're going to miss Hermanson in the starting rotation. High fly to center. That's caught by Bergeron. Green hit it sharply, but right at the center fielder, and there's out number 2. A 9-9 game. Hey.
Those are for Arnie Harris.
Did you send them to him?
No. You know, 2nd trip to Montreal in a month. They appreciate him coming up here so often.
So Blank will depart. He gave up a hit. The RBI single to Rodriguez, lefty-lefty. That tied the game. Green flies out. And now Telford will face Andrews, Girardi, and Buford here in the Cubs' 6th. Cubs trying to win for the first time on Sunday this year. We're 0-5 in Sunday ball games. We've battled back to tie this thing up. And as Telford, the right-hander, warms up, we'll step aside for a moment and tell you what's coming up later on WGN.
Please remain seated and fasten your seatbelts because you're about to fly the friendly skies. Take off with Mel Gibson and Robert Downey Jr. as a couple of pilots flying by the seat of their pants. Air America, today at 5 Eastern on WGN.
Dan Roan, Chip Carey from Montreal. 9-9 game. The Cubs have pounded out 14 hits. The Expos 9 runs on 7 hits. The Cubs pitching staff has walked 8 Montreal players in the ball game. We've given up 3 home runs to the Expos, 2 2-home run shots, 1 3-run poke, but have battled off the deck to even the score here. And Telford will come on to pitch again for the Expos. He has been a very busy man. He gave up a hit in 1 inning in the 8-3 Montreal win here on Felipe Alou's birthday Friday night. Shane Andrews leads it off. He has a stolen base today, too. Cubs have stolen 6 in this ball game. A high fly hammered to right. Guerrero, dead in his tracks now, has to drift back a bit. He's under it, and the inning is over. 1 pitch retires the Cubs into 6th, but we tie the game up on a walk, 2 steals, a single by Sosa, a single by Rodriguez, and a very costly error as well by Montreal.
They're America's finest misfits. Mel Gibson, Robert Downey Jr., Air America. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on WGN.
I need you to find these people now.
Okay, boys. Release the hounds.
Someone's been here.
Searching for someone at your car insurance company after dark? At Geico Direct, we're here 24 hours a day. In fact, one 15-minute call could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Here you want sushi and wasabi.
Wasabi.
Yeah, wasabi.
Wasabi.
Wasabi! Wasabi!
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Wasabi!
Wasabi.
Wasabi!
Wasabi. Wasabi.
Wasabi.
Only one can be the best.
To treat athlete's foot, it's Lamisil AT with full prescription strength. These take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures it with just 1. 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Melanie Griffith goes undercover to catch a cold-blooded killer, a stranger among us.
Monday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
Rondell White leads off the Expos' 6th 9-9 game. White, Vladimir Guerrero, and Lee Stevens are due for Felipe Alou. There's a strike to White.
And those horns are multiplying.
Yeah. We had like 2 of them last night.
I think we have 3 working right now.
High fly ball hit to left. And in play for Henry. Well, this place much easier to play in the outfield now than it used to be. Boy, you'd play on a Sunday afternoon, that bright sunshine overhead. You could not see the baseball.
It was like somebody shining a huge beacon through the top of this place. There were spots in the ballpark that you were totally sunblind.
And then they changed the roof after all the problems they've had with the roof structure here. They had that orange.
That was awful, too. This blue roof actually is pretty nice.
Swing and a miss by Guerrero, who's been on base 3 times. He's scored 3 times. He's driven home 2 with a homer and also has a single.
The roof they have up there now reflects a lot of the lights of the scoreboard and the ballpark, so it actually looks like it's imprinted with something, and the pattern doesn't look all that bad.
High pop out of play. Guerrero down 2 strikes. But it looks like the underside of a turtle shell up there.
You know, I never really thought of it.
Yeah, well, your kids are much too old. You don't have to read the Yertle the Turtle books from Dr. Seuss anymore. It's true. The 0-2 pitch. Broken bat roller to short. Well, that bat just shattered as Van Poppel had Guerrero reaching on the play. And the Expos bat boys will come out and pick up the shattered lumber And Guerrero's retired for the first time today.
Well, you don't see him break like that very often. It totally splintered almost from where Guerrero's hands were all the way to the top of the bat. Gutierrez makes the good play on the move over there, and 2 quick outs here in the 6th inning.
And that brings Lee Stevens up. I'm kind of tired of watching this guy hit home run balls against us. He's hit another one today. He hit one against Kerrywood on Friday. He's driven home 4 runs in 3 games against us.
3 today with that home run and then a sacrifice fly back in the 5-run 4th inning that put Montreal in front. The Cubs have since come back to catch him, and here we go again.
Way high. It's ball 3. This is a real big game for the Cubs to win. Ball 4. 3rd walk for Van Poppel. 9 given up by the Cubs pitchers today. And here's Tracy with a 3-run homer himself back in the 4th. Cubs had a big lead in this ball game. We haven't won a series here since 1996. You come to Montreal with Wood, Lieber, and Valdez, and you don't take 2 out of 3. You really have to be disappointed. But this one will go to the team whose bullpen survives the best. Here's Tracy, 1 out of 2. His first big league home run, a mammoth shot in the 4th. And he knows how to hit him. He hit 37 in Double-A ball last year. And a quick strike from Van Poppel. 0-1. Nothing in 2. One more big strike from Van Poppel, and we'll be out of this 6th inning. That one bounced up there 3 feet shy of the dish. Van Poppel has yet to allow a run since joining the Cubs. Cub fan Michael Squirrel. That's his name, from Columbus, Ohio. Sends us an email that says, "You are a Steve Stone lookalike." That's what it said.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah. Is Dan wearing Steve's headset today? Do you think there might be something supernatural?
Yeah, if Stoney hears that, he's going to have a relapse.
1-2. Swung and lined out of play, foul.
You know, it's funny, though, in this business. I have people come up to me all the time or walk past me at the ballpark or anywhere. And they always give me the "Hi, Steve."
Oh, is that right?
I hear it all the time. I don't think we look very much alike. The fact that Steve's 2 feet shorter than I am.
2. Maybe 3. The pitch is outside. Ball 2. See, one of our Cub fans watching in Wisconsin had a good idea today. Instead of a Charlie Brown Pez dispenser, how about an Arnie Harris Pez dispenser at the ballpark?
The only bad thing about that would be that they wouldn't be that valuable to the Harris family.
Runner goes the 2-2, swing and a miss, strike him out. And that retires side. The other problem is, knowing how Arnie doesn't like to give anything away, no one would ever get candy out of that particular device. 9-9 is our score. Same to you, Arnie. Happy Mother's Day. We go to the 7th inning.
Chicago Cubs baseball on WGN is brought to you by Pepsi, the joy of cola.
Hi, I am Sammy Sosa, and I am asking people to step up to the plate and take the Pepsi challenge.
I've been a lifelong Coke drinker.
Definitely Coke. See which one tastes better.
That one?
That one.
In taste tests nationwide, more people prefer the taste of Pepsi over Coke.
I'll take the Pepsi. I guess I'll have to go with Pepsi.
Welcome to the family. I'm having a great day.
So take the Pepsi challenge and let your taste decide.
Want to color your gray hair and get a natural look? It's easy with Just for Men.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men. No one can tell with Just for Men.
Simply shampoo in Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, rinse. Just for Men blends away gray. The gray is gone, matched up to the rest of your hair.
You look so natural, no one can tell with Just for Men.
Call it a bonanza, an extravaganza. It's how you save on tires. Now at Pep Boys, all 35,000-mile tires are 4 for only $99, and all 70,000-mile tires 4 for $169.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us. People love us. Still got athlete's foot?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. One Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys, or these guys.
Athlete's foot.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
In the lawless land of the West, Chris Christopherson tracks a killer. Wanted, dead or alive. Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on WGN.
9 after 6. Glad you're with us on Mother's Day from Montreal. And Sunday, May 21st, is your chance to receive a special limited edition Hasbro Chicago Cubs Mr. Potato Head with a commemorative card. The first 10,000 kids 13 and under attending the Cubs Reds game get a Hasbro Cubs Mr. Potato Head, compliments of the Museum of Science and Industry.
No comment necessary.
And if you want tickets for those Reds games this coming weekend, they're getting real scarce. There are some select tickets available for those 3 games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There are some good seats available for the Cubs-Dodgers series. And that ought to be a real entertaining one at Wrigley Field. Night game on Tuesday. And Kevin Brown, the opposing pitcher, one of the best in the business, will oppose Kevin Tampany, who's pitched pretty well of late for the Cubs. Then on Wednesday, Scott Downs and Darren Dreifert. Thursday, Kerry Wood against Chan Ho Park, who struck out 12 in his last start. Down on strikes goes Girardi. 1 away in the 7th inning.
That may have been the best curveball we've seen all day from anybody. And Anthony Telford pulled the string a bit on Joe Girardi, and Joe way out in front of this one.
So Damon Buford, the batter, he's 1 out of 3. A solo home run back in the 2nd put the Cubs up 3-2. Rifled out of play, foul. Our first final is in the National League. Mets beat the Marlins 5-1. The Mets have been scuffling mightily this year. They released Ricky Henderson the other day, you'll recall. And now the Cardinals had a big lead against the Dodgers, but that's starting to evaporate. St. Louis 9, Los Angeles 6. Eric Karros has driven in 5 runs for the Dodgers today. Buford hits a high fly into shallow right center. On comes Vladimir. 2 outs. And Eric Karros is having a very good year. And a pinch hitter will be Julio Zuleta. He'll bat for Van Poppel. So Todd Van Poppel goes 2 innings and a third for the Cubs. Does not allow a hit or a run. He did walk 3 men, struck out 1. But as long as he puts zeros on that scoreboard, he's going to get the early call out of the pen when needed. And Brian Williams loosening up, looks like he will be the next Cub pitcher. Here's Big Julio, and it's out of play in that Mets game. Mike Piazza hit his 10th career grand slam. So the Mets finally win a game against the Marlins, a much improved South Florida team. And Zuleta hit by a pitch. Well, there's a start perhaps with 2 outs, and now the Expos have to face Eric Young.
Just a cutter that got away and zinged Julio Zuleta right up underneath the left side of his rib cage. So the big man aboard at first base and the little man at the plate. Eric Young's been on base 3 times in 4 trips, 2 hits, a walk, and 5 stolen bases today.
What a day for Eric Young. 1 on, 2 outs, and a strike call. 9-9 here in the top of the 7th inning. Line drive, center field for a hit. Zuleta stops at second. Eric Young with his 3rd hit of the day. And folks, as Dan mentioned, he is getting ready for that Dodger series. I don't think there's a player on this team that wants to play better against LA than Eric Young.
He's got a lot to show Davey Johnson, in his mind anyway, and Eric Young is warming up in the best way possible. His 3rd hit this afternoon. He's having a great series, and the Expos bullpen is busy again. Steve Klein is up, and if he comes in, he'd be the 6th Montreal pitcher of the afternoon.
Here's Ricky.
We're only in the 7th inning.
Oh, boy. 18 runs, 22 hits, 2 Montreal errors in the game. 5 home runs have been hit.
There's Mr. Klein, who's worked in each of the first 2 games of this series, so why not today?
One ball, no strikes. Oh, for a hit here.
Think Don Baylor have flashed that double steal sign here?
I'm sure he's tempted.
I wouldn't blame him.
But problem is, EY's got the big, tall 6'6" Panamanian in front of him, Julio Zuleta.
Well, you look at Telford, and once again, they're not even looking at the base runners. I mean, if you wanted to do it, you probably could. It'd be a stupid move if you got caught, but a genius move if it worked.
2 balls, 1 strike. It's 2-2.
You know, we see that reflection we talked about earlier in that shot from center field. I wonder if the pitcher can see the base runner in the glass behind home plate. Wouldn't be surprised if he could. There's the glass back there. I guess, well, I don't know if he can or not.
Well, if he's looking at that and not the hitter, he's in deep trouble.
I mean, you can at least glance at it, get an idea where he is.
Yeah. Well, they'll be moving now, 3-2 with 2 outs. Sosa waiting on deck. Game tied at 9. This has been a battle of attrition. Runners go. The pitch. Bouncing ball up the middle. Into center field for a hit. Zuleta will score. Young on his way to 3rd. Gutierrez with another big 2-out hit, and the Cubs have the lead 10-9. Man, those 2 guys are amazing at the top of the order. Young and Gutierrez with 2-out hits after the hit batsman, and the Cubs have reclaimed the lead.
It's the 7th inning. Those 2 guys have been on base 8 times between them, and this is the one that puts the Cubs back in front, right up the middle, just beyond the diving second baseman Jose Vidro. No problem with Zuleta scoring, and Young scampers on over to 3rd, and now Sammy with 2 on and 2 out, and a chance to, well, I hate to say bust this one open because we were ahead by 4 one other time.
Give us a crooked numbered lead. How about that?
That would be good.
He's had a big day at the plate. 3 out of 4. He's driven home 3 more.
Average up to 338 for Sosa.
Unbelievable. And Widger wants and gets time. 10 runs on 16 hits. There's not been a whole lot wrong with the Cubs offense in this series. Now let's pause quickly for station identification.
This is WGN, entertaining America.
Dan Roan, Chip Carey from Olympic Stadium. The crowd has been quieted as the Cubs have taken the lead again. bullpen in. Look out, Sammy. 2-0.
Sammy had to move his chin back off home plate there.
2 finals in the American League. Tigers hand the Yankees their 4th straight loss today. 2-1. Big swing and a miss.
2-0 breaking ball and a good one from Telford.
Toronto over Tampa 3-2.
See, a couple of the big victory guys are going in the American League today. David Wells going for his 7th win for Toronto, and a good matchup in Chicago today. James Baldwin trying to get to 7-0 against Brad Radke.
He's had a super start. Sosa, a rope into left center field. That's going to score Young. Gutierrez round second, on his way to third. Bergeron cuts the ball off. He'll be stopped at third. It's a double for Sosa, and the Cubs lead by 2.
Another 4-hit game for Sammy. He hasn't hit a home run in this series yet, but he's done everything else. 4 RBIs, 4 hits. And the 6th Montreal pitcher is on his way in.
So Telford works an inning, gives up 3 hits. He's given up 2 runs so far. He hit a batter. He struck out 1. He didn't walk anybody. And the Expos will work a double switch. Another appearance out of the bullpen. It's Steve Klein coming in. We'll tell you about his season right after this.
I love my new Toro personal pace self-propel mower so much, I'm letting my neighbors try it.
Wow, so simple to control. This is unbelievable.
He loves it.
It moves at whatever speed I'm walking, and it's easy backing up, too.
She's hooked.
No speeds to adjust. I want one.
I think they're impressed.
The revolutionary Toro Personal Pace Self-Propel Mower. It's a whole new way to mow. Test drive the Toro Personal Pace Mower and register to win a family vacation to Walt Disney World.
This might be a good time to talk about the Michelin X1. Thanks to Michelin technology, it gives you long mileage and better wet braking than any rain tire. And that should make everyone on a wet road happy.
Tres Coquillet takes over at third base for the Expos. He'll hit 9th in their batting order. And Steve Klein, who's been terrific out of the Expo bullpen, becomes their 6th pitcher of the day. The Cubs have bashed 17 hits today. And all this damage, Dan Roan, coming with 2 outs. A hit batsman, 2 singles, and a double have plated 2 7th-inning runs.
After a strikeout and a fly ball to get to the pitcher's spot. Telford hit Zoletta with a pitch, and then the roof is caving in on the Expos ever since.
Well, let's not say anything about the roof in this particular ballpark. They've had a lot of problems in this place, keeping Olympic Stadium covered. Here's Henry. He had a base hit against a left-hander his last time up. A 3 out of 4 day, and that triple play might have gotten Henry mad. He rolled into one of those in the first, has hit a 2-run homer and 2 run-scoring singles. Did he go?
No.
Oh, they say he did. I'm not sure about that. Henry wasn't either.
Close. I don't know about that one.
That call goes against us. 1-1 with runners second and third. A little pop left side. Coquillet on the run. So is Widger. And it's out of play. Cubs leading 11-9. We're in the 7th. And here's the crazy triple play in that first inning.
Started with a ground ball the first. Sammy hit it. And Sammy was running from first to second, and then they come home with Gutierrez, who kind of got hung himself up really between home and third base. Some odd base running going on in that play on the part of Sosa and Gutierrez there as Henry bounced out to first base.
2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 more big runners on here in the 7th. Brian Williams ready in our pen. And Henry looks at ball 3 low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Willie Green waiting on deck. Would the Cubs pinch hit Nieves for him? Henry would have to reach first. The pitch. He swung at ball 4. And the inning is over. But the Cubs pick up 2 runs on 3 2-out hits and a hit batsman. 7th inning stretch time in Montreal. We've got the lead. That's good news. 11-9 our score.
Stallone's doing hard time.
You're the wrong man.
Shut up, lockout.
This is hell. I'm going to give you the guided tour.
Wednesday at 8 Eastern on WGN.
Got an old buddy waiting for a visit in Washington? With everyday low fares on Southwest Airlines, flying to BWI is your best route to the capital.
You are now free to move about the country.
Select road. Validating tires.
What kind of road can you drive on with BF Goodrich tires? Any road you choose. And now we've been ranked best original equipment tire for light truck vehicles and customer satisfaction by J.D. Power and Associates. BF Goodrich tires. Take control. Only one can be the best.
To treat athlete's foot, it's Lamisil AT with full prescription strength. These take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures it with just 1. 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
When you combine Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and Crispy Wafers, the combination is irresistible. Reese Sticks, the crisp you can't resist.
Andy McDowell, Gerard Depardieu. Definitely. Nothing in common except their marriage. Green Card.
Tonight at 7 Eastern, 6 Central on WGN.
Brian Williams becomes the 3rd Cub pitcher of the afternoon. It's 11-9 heading to the bottom of the 7th inning. When Brian has been very, very good, he's been real good. When he's been bad, he's been horrendous. Let's hope he's got his good stuff today in Montreal. A 1-1 record with a save. And that next to last number you see, the walks, has been the huge problem for Brian Williams. Our bullpen coming into this game has given up more walks than our starters in over 100 fewer innings pitched. And the first one pops out of the mid of Girardi with so much movement. It's strike 1. (11-9) the Cubs lead. Strike 2 call. Chris Widger battling through a 1-for-16 homestand. Let's add to the misery here. Popped up right side. Andrews on the run. And it's into the seats. Brian Williams had a stretch where he'd allowed only 2 runs in 11 innings over 6 outings. He did, however, take the loss on May the 11th against Milwaukee when he gave up 4 runs, walked 3 men in 1 inning against the Brewers. So a chance for some redemption for him here in inning number 7. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, John Lieber gave these guys all a day off yesterday. Heredia was the only guy who really got up in the pen all day. Saturday.
And with the off day tomorrow, if need be, everybody could be summoned today. Big breaking ball. Man, that thing snapped off. And Widger missed it badly. Good pitch from Brian Williams and a good start here in the 7th.
Brian Williams' ball has some movement on it, and a good one right there. Widger never had a prayer of hitting that ball. Way outside. Chris lunging at it. That's out number 1.
Orlando Cabrera, the shortstop, looking for his first base hit. He's 2 for his last 18. The Expos dropped 2 out of 3 to the Phillies. They're in danger of dropping 2 out of 3 to the Cubs. They'll next welcome Arizona to town. They face Randy Johnson tomorrow. Then Houston is here, and that closes out the longest homestand in quite some time for the Expos. 0-1. Cabrera, then Coquillettes here in inning number 7. Ground ball right side and through for a hit. He just served that ball into the open space on the right side of the diamond. And now the young infielder, Trace Coquillette, will be the batter.
Another curveball, and a pretty good one, too. Cabrera just went down, got it, slapped it through the hole. And the Expos, after that single, get the tying run to the plate in Trace Coquillette.
Coquillette, 25 years old, out of Carmichael, California. 10th round pick of the Expos in 1993. Promoted to the big league roster for the first time for Montreal in 1997. And made 17 appearances in the big leagues in 1999. That one scoots away from Girardi, and it's a wild pitch.
What's your attendance guess today, Chip?
11,972.
Not quite.
Am I low?
You're high.
I'm high.
10,621.
Huh. I guess the kiddies couldn't scrape together enough change to buy Mom a ticket. Or buy themselves
even though they were
actually.
free.
Yeah, exactly. Third wild pitch for Williams. Big run out at second for Montreal. Coquillette. High drive, straightaway center, not too deep. 2 men down. Back to the top we go now, and Bergeron will bat. He's 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to the left and a pair of walks. He's also been picked off. "11 runs on 17 hits for the Cubs today." Back up the middle. EY knocked it down, kept it on the infield. The runner's going to try. Here's the throw to the plate, and plenty of time and out. How about that play? EY kept it on the infield. Gutierrez told him he's going to try to score. He never stopped, and he's thrown out at the plate, and that retires the Expos in the 7th, with the Cubs still leading by a score of 11-9.
On the next Total Recall 2070, David races against the clock.
She doesn't remember me at all.
To save his wife from a mind-altering implant.
We don't know what the side effects are.
Everything she knows can be erased.
Hi, stranger.
And everyone she loves can be forgotten.
I don't remember our life together.
But can a deal with the devil save her?
I want to give Olivia back her memory.
Before she is lost forever?
Sorry about this, buddy.
Total Recall 2070.
Tonight at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on WGN.
Still got athlete's foot?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. One Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
I love my new Toro personal pace self-propel mower so much, I'm letting my neighbors try it.
Wow, so simple to control. This is unbelievable.
He loves it.
It moves at whatever speed I'm walking, and it's easy backing up, too.
She's hooked.
No speeds to adjust. I want one.
I think they're impressed.
The revolutionary Toro personal pace self-propel mower. It's a whole new way to mow. See Toro's full line of lawn care products at your Toro retailer today.
Boom! Stop dead
dead in his tracks. That's how fast Tough Actin' Tinactin pump spray works. It stops the itching and burning of athlete's foot dead. The only leading brand so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Tackle athlete's foot symptoms in seconds with Tough Actin' Tinactin.
After 6 weeks, how does the Dr. Scholl's Dynastep Sport insert feel?
Before I tried the inserts, I had shin splint pain. Now I don't.
It's clinically proven among athletes to provide immediate relief from lower body pain.
When I play basketball, my lower back is much, much better.
Treat yourself right at drscholls.com.
This is WGN Entertaining America.
Jose Nieves will lead it off for the Cubs. He'll pinch hit for Willie Green here. Eric Young has had a magnificent game for the Cubs. He scored 4, stolen 5, has 3 hits, and made another sparkling play defensively.
Actually overran that ball some. It hit off the heel of his glove, but EY had the presence to get back up and get it to Girardi in plenty of time to get the runner at the plate. Cabrera was an easy out at home, and the Cubs' 2-run lead is intact.
11-9 is our score. We're in the 8th inning. And Jose, did he check his swing? No, he did not. He's called out on strikes. Boy, oh boy, a real questionable check swing on that particular play. 1 down in the 8th.
Well, there's another look. That's a check right there.
So 1 out, base is clear. Shane Andrews hearing it from the crowd here. He's 1 for 4, 1 for 19 at Olympic Stadium with the Cubs. Kind of hard to figure out why they're booing Andrews so badly. In fact, they had a little blurb in the paper about just that. I mean, this is a guy that 1998 hit 25 home runs here. Drove in 69 in 150 games. But was never the big-time run producer that Montreal thought he would be as a very high #1 draft choice. 1-2.
Tell you what, the crowd's into it every time he comes up.
Well, if they want to boo him and lose the game, that's, I'm sure, fine with Shane and fine with the rest of us. Good rip straight back.
They're blasting those horns off every time the pitcher releases the ball.
That doesn't make it any easier either. But here's the spot where you'd like to see Shane shorten his stroke a little bit. He's down in the count, 1-2. He's got that big uppercut home run swing. See if he can punch the ball somewhere. Nope. He's down on strikes. Klein's come in throwing smoke. 3 hitters, 3 strikeouts. 2 outs in the 8th.
Actually, that wasn't that long a swing. He didn't take it back that far, but on the wrong plane. And here's Joe Girardi. There's our buddy. Somebody go down there. Arnie, just jump out of the truck and beat that guy over the head with that thing, will you?
His buddy's about to slug him if he blows that thing by his ear again. Girardi 1 out of 4. A base hit back in the 3rd.
Just part of what makes baseball so much different up here.
That and the quietness of the crowd. Hear it? Listen. It's like a theater. That's in for strike 1.
Maybe that's why you can hear every single thing that goes on in the park, and why any little collision between a ball and a seat or a bat and a ball sounds so loud in this place.
It's different. High chopper. Let's see if Coquillette can make a good play. He can. And the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 and out go the Cubs in the 8th. Here's where it gets interesting. Vidro, White, and Guerrero are due for the Expos, and we lead it by 2.
What do you see behind that smile? Purina scientists see that too. But we also see a dog who was allergic to protein, putting his survival at risk. Until one of Purina's many discoveries led to the first and only diet where the protein is broken down, ending his allergic reaction. Now there's a better life behind that smile. Purina Science, advancing life.
Garden Claw, one of America's favorite garden tools, is good as gold. It adjusts to fit gardeners of all sizes. Garden Claw Gold helps you cultivate, loosen, aerate, and weed without being tough on your back. The claw's steel tines tear through all kinds of soil, even clay, bringing moisture and oxygen to plants' roots. And it turns weeds and leaves into beneficial mulch. Garden Claw Gold makes a great gift.
Available at Home Depot and participating Ace, True Value, and Do It Best hardware stores, makes a great gift.
Only one can be the best.
To treat athlete's foot, it's Lamisil AT with full prescription strength. These take 4 weeks of treatment. Lamisil AT cures it with just one. 3 months later, you're still athlete's foot free. Lamisil AT, the best way to cure athlete's foot.
The new ProStart Plus battery from Pep Boys. Every size, every battery, one great price, $39.99. And in 16 sizes, ProStart Plus fits almost all cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs at just $39.99. Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
They're America's finest misfits. Mel Gibson, Robert Downey Jr., Air America. Today at 5 Eastern, 4 Central on WGN.
Brian Williams will try to go through the 2-3-4 hitters in the Expo lineup here. Cubs leading 11-9. Our senior producer director of Cubs baseball in his 37th year is Arnie Harris. Cubs baseball on WGN, produced by Pete Toma, who wants to wish his mom, Rosalie Toma, a happy Mother's Day in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania today. Mark Brady's our associate producer. Mark's mom, Minnie, watching the game in Hazel Crest, Illinois. And the executive producer of WGN Sports is Bob Vorwald. And Bob is watching the game with his parents up in Wisconsin. Here's Vidro. And he takes low. Ball one. Happy Mother's Day to my mom, Lila, watching the game outside of St. Louis in Wildwood, Missouri. And to my stepmom, Paula, watching the game down in Atlanta. 1 ball, no strikes to Vidro, now 2-0. They'll take a base runner any way they can get it against Brian Williams. Now Heredia gets up with Farnsworth in our bullpen. Outside. Come on, Brian. Ball 3.
Cub pitchers have walked 9 already today. And that's 10. And that's not a good start here in the 8th inning.
Every time that man tries to show a little faith in one of his relievers, they start walking people. So Williams gave up 2 hits and escaped the 7th unscathed. Walks the leadoff man in the 8th in Vidro. Now here's White. A double, a run scored, and an RBI in the 4th. The Penn men just got up, so they're not going to be ready yet. Slider, strike, 0-1. The Cubs have walked 10 Expos in this game, but we lead it by 2. In the dirt, good stop. It's even 1 ball, 1 strike. 10 more walks by the Cubs staff today. That's 187. Second most in the National League. Only Milwaukee has walked more. The 1-1. Big cut and a miss. It's 1-2. And that second most total is the second most not just in our league, but in all of baseball. 1-2 the count. Did he? Well, I thought that was good enough. Will appeal. No swing. 2-2. That one looked like it just missed, dancing across the outside corner. But when you're wild, you're not going to get those calls. Tying run at the plate, Rondell White. The stretch now, the pitch. Chopper foul.
Crowd of just over 10,000. They sound a lot noisier right now.
2-2. Almost hit him. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Second National League final is in. Pirates beat Milwaukee 3-0 today. Dodgers down a run in St. Louis, 9-8 now in the 6th. But we got problems. Here comes the 3-2. Vidro aboard. White ready. The throw to first. He's back standing up. The stretch. Runner not going. The pitch. Swung line into the corner left field for a hit. Vidro around second on his way to third. Henry can't find the ball. It's stuck. And what do we got here? It sticks under the pad. Henry puts his arms up, and that's a break. The ball hits so hard it's stuck. That's a huge break because that would have scored a run. It's a double for White. And now the tying runs are in scoring position with nobody out for Vladimir Guerrero.
Slider up, and that ball was just hammered. Nieves had no chance, and you see where the ball wound up right in the seam between those two pads out there. And it is a break. No doubt Vidro would have scored a run, but big trouble here.
And you got to walk Guerrero here and listen to the reaction here in Montreal. Oh, he almost threw a wild pitch on that delivery.
Lee Stevens is in the on-deck circle, and Felix Heredia is set to come into the game for the Cubs after Williams finally walks Guerrero, and we hope we get through this unscathed. Second time this afternoon they've walked Guerrero to get to Stevens.
Now last time that happened, Stevens delivered a sacrifice fly into shallow center. He's also hit a 2-run home run, however. And now here comes Don Baylor. We'll have a double switch. So Brian Williams, 2 walks and a double here in the 8th. His control problems continue in Montreal. The go-ahead run is aboard for the Expos. They trail it 11-9. Back with more at Olympic Stadium after this.
$32.75.